Hello everyone and welcome along to the first quarter final here, bringing you the game between Switzerland and Spain, of course. Hopefully everyone is well as well. We've just got the two national anthems that have just been gone through just a moment ago, but I will run you through the two lineups. I will have a co-commentator a little bit later on as well. It's going to be a little bit late, but he will be with us shortly. So let's get started into the lineups, and the lineup for Spain, I'll start off with is Unai Simon in goal. And they've got a back line of Azpilicueta, Laporte, Torres and Alba. Midfield of Koke, Busquets and Gonzalez. And Torres, Morata and Sarabia lead the line, with the Swiss lining up with Sommer in goal, Elvardi, Akanji, Rodriguez, Vidma, Zakaria, Freuler, Zuba, Shaqiri, Embolo and Seferovic, with the referee for today coming from England, with that being Michael Oliver, assisted by Stuart Burt and Simon Bennett of England as well. We've got Oviedo Hatigan of Romania, the fourth official. Then the reserve official is Sebastian Jorge from Romania as well. We've also got Arta Azayan from Armenia, who's the UEFA delegate, and the ref's observer is Mehmet Ilgas, I believe the guy's name is. And on VAR for today, we've got some more English officials on VAR as well. And that is Chris Kavanagh, and he's alongside Lee Betts, Stuart Atwell, and then the non-English man in there is the German Christian Dinger as well, who is also a part of that team for today. And the kickoff is just about to get underway now, in fact, and it's going to be the Spanish in white to kick off. Of course, Granit Xhaka is missing today for the Swiss. He's suspended. He picked up a suspension in that famous victory over the French, where, of course, they were 3-1 down. In fact, both of these sides had very fantastic games themselves in the last round, but the Swiss were 3-1 down and got it back to 3-3 before winning on penalties. Of course, Kylian Mbappe missing the crucial penalty there for the French, which saw them knocked out, and surprisingly knocked out as well. So, of course, Switzerland here now just got a bit of defending to do, because the kickoff is with Spain, as I said, and the ball is into the Swiss half and just knocked on there now, and well defended, in fact, by the Swiss. And it's currently with the left back, which is Alba, and it's now with number 4, Pau Torres. And of course, as I mentioned just a moment ago, it wasn't just the Swiss who, were the sides last time out who had a bit of a comeback. Spain had a comeback themselves as well. At one stage, they were 3-1 up, of course, and then Croatia got it back to 3-3 before Spain needed extra time to progress on their own as well, with a couple of goals in there from Alberto Moreno and substitute Oyarzabal as well, who's on the bench once again today. And it's with Spain right now, and a good defending there by the Swiss number 3, in fact, which is just knocked on now, but it's with Switzerland, I should say. Is that Shaqiri going to have an effort there? It's deflected wide. Is that going to? Oh, no, straight into the hands of Simon and off of Pau Torres there. It was Shaqiri, the man who was mentioned. And it's with Spain now. Just going to get the Swiss line up in front of me. I will run you through the bench shortly as well. Of course, we've got some fantastic commentaries here on the channel, starting with this one, and then we do have Matt Isles bringing you the big game later on between the Belgians and the Italians as well, to see who'll progress from that one. It's an interesting day of Euros action, and it's great to be back after a couple of days break as well, of course, where the Euros had a few days off. And it's a foul here on Morata now, I should say. And by the number 5 there, Akanji. It's with Spain now, and it's across the back line. And just with the left back Alba now, and on to Torres, and back to goalkeeper Simon, who of course had a bit of a mare last time out in terms of the first goal. In fact, that wasn't Torres. This is Torres. That was Laporte that time. But of course, Simon last time out did have a bit of a mare in regards to the goal that he conceded, and with the own goal as well. Of course, it was, which went down as an own goal by him. And when you look at that, obviously he done well to recover, and I think he did make a few very crucial saves as well later on in that game. And looks like both sides are playing quite cages. Ferran Torres now, in possession. He's going to whip this one in, and it's well defended in the end by Switzerland. They got a bit lucky though with Sommer coming out to parry that one after the defender, who I believe was Rodriguez, got his clearance a little bit wrong and up into the air. But Spain have got it back now, and we are 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and that's still remaining goalless between these two nations. And of course, this is the side of the group with Belgium and Italy on as well, as we mentioned just before. And of course, on the other side of the group, it sees England and Ukraine, which is tomorrow. And of course, the other game tomorrow, Czech Republic and Denmark as well. And all of those games are going to be brought to you. This one with myself, and Lou will be on shortly. And then also the game later on with Matt Isles. The game tomorrow, the England game, is going to be with John Kane and Kieran Riley. And I'll be on that in some capacity as well, with presenting or helping out with John. But we haven't decided on that as of yet. And the Denmark and Czech Republic game is going to be with Nicholas Jones, and that's Torres, I should say, because it's with Spain now in possession, and it's now with the back line, and it's number 5, Akanji there, just knocks it back to the goalkeeper Sommer, and out of play for a Spain throw-in. Switzerland in their red shirts and red shorts and red socks as always, and Spain in white, playing from the right to left on my screen, and Switzerland playing from left to right, of course, as well in this first half, which we've had 5 minutes of, and still no goals have been scored, or no chances really of note have happened either. You're listening to the Commentary Hub, of course, in partnership with JB Sports for this Euro 2020 tournament. Of course, delayed due to the COVID pandemic, and of course, it's great to have the Euro tournament and plenty more sport as well across the world. Not just with this tournament. Of course, there's Wimbledon currently taking place. There's the Olympics coming up very shortly as well, and loads more fantastic sport. Of course, the Formula One as well is also on, and loads of sport, not just football, to keep across for the time being. It's with the Swiss now, and it's actually out with the number 8, which was Frauler. He's got it back though as well. It's now with the number 4, El Vardy, and on to Akanji, his defensive partner, I think that is, and Rodriguez as well. Down the line it goes. He looks like he's onside as well. A shot a goal there, but straight at Simon by the Swiss man, who was wasn't Zuba, was it? I couldn't quite see. But talking of Zuba's been fantastic in this tournament. Of course, he's got himself a good amount of assists as well. He got some assists in the last game, and he also got some assists, of course. Most notably, I should say, where he got 3 in one game, and the Swiss went on, and that was when they beat the Turks in the final group game by 3-1 as well, which saw them progress as one of the top third place sides. It's his Ferran Torres now for the Spanish, though, and he's won a corner there. Good play there from the Manchester City man, and it's Rodriguez that puts that behind. And there's a corner here for Spain now, to be taken by Just going to see who this is now. 1 or 2, but there's a couple of people coming up from the back, including the defence as well, where Laporte and Torres coming up now. This is probably the first real opportunity here for either side. It's going to be whipped in, and it's onto the head of it. No, it's actually not quite onto the head of a Spanish head. It's a shot, a goal, and it's in. Spain have taken the lead. It's the number 18, Jordi Alba there, and he's given Spain the lead there. What a finish that was as well. I think maybe the Swiss man might have been able to do a little bit better, but Spain, after under 8 minutes, have taken the lead in this game here now, and really good start from them, a bright start from the Spanish, and it's Jordi Alba, the man who was put in at left back today to replace the left back from the last game. He's got a fantastic effort on that. He hit that very cleanly. In fact, took a deflection as well. It went in off of the number, one of the defenders there. Might have been the number 6, Zakaria. In fact, he might have taken that deflection off, and that wrong-footed the goalkeeper there, Sommer. And Spain have started early, and got an early goal. It is Zakaria that it's come off of. But it's Spain that lead early on in this Euro 2020 quarter-final against Switzerland. After 8.5 minutes there, it's gone down into Jordi Alba goal, so that obviously must have been on target. But it's the Spanish who lead against Switzerland, and it's the Swiss now looking for an equaliser straight away, but they've got their cross all wrong, and Alba's able to get it clear off of the number 7 and Bolo for a throw-in. And great start there from the Spanish, early goal. And that's going to certainly calm any nerves down that they had now in this quarter-final as well, looking ahead. Of course, they did concede first last time out, and then it took them a bit of time to get into the game. But, you know, there's when you look at this Switzerland side, of course, you know, Zakaria there is in, and Freuler in midfield. You know, it's certainly, if you look at that, you know, Granit Xhaka's missing as well. But it'd be interesting to see how the Swiss can, you know, perform now, whether they can come back and whether they can equal this game. But Spain have started brightly. I think deserved their goal as well. And it was a nice finish, in fact, by Alba, aided with the deflection off of Zakaria. And Spain are the side that are currently leading by that goal to nil. Of course, you're listening to the Commentary Hub in partnership with JB Sports as well. You're also listening across possibly my channel, and the Commentary Hub, Periscope and Twitch as well. So good evening to everybody. And if you are just joining us, it's currently Switzerland 0, Spain 1. And Spain are in possession here now, looking for a second, but good defending there by Switzerland. It was just Mbolo trying to bring it out now. And it's with the left back, sorry, the Rodriguez now, I should say, onto, I think that's Zuba, but it's given away now. And Spain are in possession, just knocking it around here at to the back now with the number 24, Aymeric Laporte. And they are the side that are currently in the ascendancy, leading by that goal to nil as well, of course. And a good finish it was from Jordi Alba, who, of course, everybody knows very, very well, not just from this tournament, but from his club days as well. And it's with Spain now. Is that towards Morata? Well defended there. But it's back with Spain, and it's going to be played out to this flank here now with Morata getting a touch there from Sarabia. Sarabia gets it back. And well defended there by Switzerland. And now it's with the number 4, Pau Torres. And now it's with Busquets. And now knocked back to Azpilicueta now and on to, I think that's Ferran Torres. It is indeed, who gets it back as well now. And Spain just knocking it around quite comfortably in the midfield. They're happy to be leading, and you know, obviously with the early goal there, now just feeling like they can play their game a little bit is Laporte, and now it's with Jordi Alba, the man that scored that goal just about 3 minutes or so ago, and now it's with Pau Torres. Going to play it into Alvaro Morata, and Alvaro Morata is forced to go all the way back to Unai Simon, who comes out of his area, and he touches that onto the right back, Azpilicueta now, as the Swiss look like they want to press up the field, and Rodriguez is doing just that on Ferran Torres now, and I think they've won a throw of there as well. They have indeed, yeah. It's a Swiss throw in here. There's good press in there as well. Really good press. It's going to be taken, I think, by Rodriguez. This throw in as well now. He's going to throw it down the line. There's no free kick there either. It's now knocked back to Yann Sommer in the Swiss goal. In fact, it's just come out of his area. A bit of a poor clearance there and had the defender scrambling a little bit, but he done exceptionally well there, did El Vardy, and up against Marassa, and he cleared it long, but there's an offside in there against Seferovic. Of course, one of their heroes last time out, alongside the substitute Gavranovic is on the bench today again as well. And of course, Switzerland, even going behind, know that they can come back against these nations and can, as long as they're in the game, they've got a chance. It's with Spain now. Just knocks around at the back. Goalkeeper Simon knocks it on to the defender Torres, I think that is, onto the midfielder now. Was that given away though by, is that Koke? I couldn't quite see in fact, but it's now with Jordi Alba. And here is Pau Torres, I think, just going to whack it across now. It's given away, and Switzerland have got a chance here to get a shot at goal. It's good defending there by Spain and knocked back to Unai Simon. Really, really well there. And but Switzerland have got another opportunity. They're pressing again, and it's a poor through ball there by Zuba, which went straight through to the hands of Simon, who comes out comfortably. Of course, Vladimir Petkovic is the manager of Switzerland, and of course, if you look at the Spanish management as well, of course, it's Luis Enrique back in charge again. And if you look at Switzerland a little bit, they, in terms of qualifying for tournaments and everything like that, they qualified in 2016 where they reached the round of 16. They didn't qualify for 2012, 2008, and 2004 respectively. They were just in the group stage and didn't get out of the group. 2000, they weren't qualified. 96, they were just in the group as well. And here's Ferran Torres, by the way. I will let you know in regards to that in a moment. Here's Pablo Sarabia, going to get his cross in. It's well defended there by the number 4 El Vardy and not behind for a Spain corner. And 92, they didn't qualify. 98, they didn't qualify. 84, 80, 76, 72, 68, 64, or 1960, they didn't qualify either. Did Switzerland, and this is the quarterfinals. So this is, of course, the furthest they've got. There's still an opportunity for them, although they're 1-0 down, to progress even further as well. Here's the number 22, Sarabia, now over this corner. That's been a quitters up from the back. He did score last game. He got his first goal for his country last time out, remember. Good defending there by the defender who is Akanji, I think it was. Now it's back with Sarabia again. Knocks it on. Good defending there by Zakaria that time. And it's given away though. And Switzerland looking a bit nervy here. Here's Marassa now. Is he going to get it back? Is there a foul on the edge here? Yes, there is. The referee's given it as well. And Spain are certainly the side in the driving seat at the moment. Of course, 1-0 up. And that's a foul by the number 3 there. The Swiss right back, Wiedmer. And there's an opportunity here straight away for Spain to get a second, only about 7 or 8 minutes after going 1-0 up. Yann Sommer is just trying to organise his will here. And it looks like Sarabia's over it. Alongside, just trying to see who this is alongside Sarabia. It might even be one of the other midfielders, Gonzalez, possibly. I'm not too sure. But I see Koke over it as well. It's going to be Koke, and it's over the top there from the Spanish number 8. Didn't have the dip on it until too late, and the effort there wasn't troubling Yann Sommer, who put his hand up anyway, and dip did him a favour there because it didn't dip until too late. And here's Yann Sommer now. I'm just going to clear this one long. and knocks on towards Embolo. And Embolo's got it back as there was a little bit of a collision there with his high foot there from the number 26 of Spain, Gonzalez, and no free kick given though, as it's with Akanji now. Back to Sommer again. If you are just joining us, it's currently Switzerland 0, Spain 1. Jordi Alba with the goal after about 8 minutes or so, giving the Spanish the lead. There's a foul here on Seferovic now by Laporte. And I think it's going to be Akanji to take it. And knocks across now to Rodriguez down the line. I think that is to looking forward to running Zubar, and good defending there by Cesar Azpilicueta. Just shepherded that one out of play, and Zubar just shoved him in the back, and there's certainly a foul there. But the referee just decided to give a goal kick instead. But again, that was good defending there from Cesar Azpilicueta. And Simon there, is he going to get away with that one? He is. And that's the second game in a row that Simon looked like he was going to make a mistake there. Of course, the other game last time out against Croatia was where he scored an own goal. And that one there, it looked like for a moment that he miscued that into the path pretty much of a Switzerland man. But good defending there on Embolo by Ferran Torres and not Ferran Torres, sorry, I should say. Laporte, getting my Manchester City men confused. But yeah, Laporte there defending very, very well. In fact, it was the other Torres, which is why there's Pau Torres, which is why I was getting them confused. It's the namesake, I believe. But anyway, it's Embolo that's down. And he's still getting a bit of treatment off the pitch as well. We'll just have a quick beverage break. It's going to be, I think, Shaqiri over this free kick. It is indeed. Was it going to be a corner? No, it's going to be a corner kick, in fact. Coming up to the 20th minute, and Bono just being out to his feet, and Shaqiri whips in the corner. And it's well cleared out by Spain in the end, and they're able to get it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Sommer now Switzerland. Just going to take a couple of touches there and play it down the field. And in fact, he's going to go all the way through to his opposite number. It's actually gone down as a Zakaria own goal now. That goal that gave Spain the lead, in fact, with Jordi Alba's shot. So I will correct that. It's now Zakaria own goal. Although did look like it was on target. So I think Jordi Alba can be a little bit upset that hasn't gone in favour of him getting on the score sheet there. We will have Luke with us for the second half. And good afternoon to Russ as well. Hope everyone is enjoying this game so far. Switzerland 0, Spain 1. Here's Ferran Torres now. Good defending there, really good defending, in fact, by, I think that was El Vardy there, the Switzerland defender, and he's got it clear as well. Really well played. And Switzerland are now on the front foot with Zuber. He's given the ball away though. Well defended there by Rodriguez and into midfield. Switzerland have got 4 men forward. There's a chance here for them to put it through to Seferovic. And good goalkeeping there by Unai Simon, who come out and comfortably claim that one. And really well done as well. Good goalkeeping from him. And currently Spain just playing it around in midfield, and it's with Gonzalez. He's going to get it back as well. I think it's Alba now as well, for us to say. And Sarabia involved. That's with Switzerland now, and Zuba. And his not able to keep that in. That's overrun that one. And I think have we got an early substitution here for Switzerland? Let's have a look. Vargas is coming on. So they're going to be changing it up very early here at Switzerland. There's Brill and Bolo can't continue for that challenge just a moment ago. So they're going to be missing one of their talismen now for the remainder of this game. And Vargas is the man that's replacing them. You see him being strapped up there now, Breel and Bolo as well. And that's a big blow there for Switzerland, because obviously he's a fantastic player, real talent as well. And of course now he's going to be missing and unavailable for the rest of this game. And you know, if you look at what he's done in this tournament as well, he's looked lively for Switzerland. He's looked like he can cause a few problems to the other defences, and it's certainly very bad news for Breel and Bolo there, who only lasted just over 20 minutes. It's now with Spain, and is that a foul on Morata? The referee says no. Here is the goalkeeper now, Sommer from El Vardy, out to the number 3, Wiedmer, and he can't control it and has got outplayed for a throw. If you have just joined us, it's Switzerland 0, Spain 1. Goal scored by Zakaria, scoring an own goal, deflecting in Jordi Alba's effort. And just a moment ago as well, Breel and Bolo went down and has now had to be replaced by Vargas, who has only just entered the fray, as I said, just about 2 minutes ago. But it's with Spain at the moment, and it's with the midfield now. And here's Koke. He's going to switch it out to this right side where Ferran Torres is. Sarabia and Morata's in the middle. Great defending there by El Vardy to get his foot on the end of that one. Great cross by Ferran Torres as well. And had to deal with that one, did El Vardy, because Morata was coming in round the back. And of course, you know, he scored last time out. So his confidence is going to be high now. And it's good defending there as Spain have a corner now with Sarabia and Koke, the men over it. But great defending there from El Vardy to keep his side just at the 1 goal down. Everyone's up from the back for this corner. Whips in. Header, and it's straight into the hands of Yann Sommer there by Azpilicueta. And he boots it clear. It's back with Spain now. It's now all the way back to goalkeeper Unai Simon. Possession is 75-25 in favour of Spain, and they've completed 209 passes already to 40. Yes, that's right, just 4-0 completed by the Swiss. So a big margin there in favour of Spain, completing a lot more passes than their opponents, which probably is a key factor in why they're 1-0 up. It's just a replay there of the opportunity for Azpilicueta. It's header straight down the nose of the goalkeeper Sommer as well. Just dealt with that one very comfortably indeed. It's now Unai Simon. Is there a pass there short on, which it was? And it's just the 2 defenders playing it around now. He gets Pau Torres from the port and bringing it into the midfield, is he? It's now with, I think, Koke's at, or Busquets. And there's opportunity here for Morata now. Switches it out to Ferran Torres. It looks like he swapped sides for a moment. Plays it through the middle, looking for Morata, and it's good defending there by the Swiss goalkeeper. Come out and dealt with that one very well. So just panning on Luis Enrique as well. Second spell in charge of Spain. Of course, done very well first time out, which is why they went back and reappointed him once again. Of course, this scoreline as it stands is very much with the form book as well, with the Spanish winning 16 of their meetings. Their 22 meetings, in fact, they've had between the two nations, and Switzerland only winning 1, which actually come all the way back in 2010 when they won by a goal to 0 with Gelson Fernandez scoring that day, and the draws having the draws being 5. So this is very much with the form book as things stand at the moment. Spain leading by a goal to 0. And of course, as we mentioned earlier on, 2 fantastic games in the competition. Of course, I brought you the last Spain game against Croatia as well, and a fantastic game that was, as a Spanish man down. I think it's the number 22, Sarabia there. It is indeed. Just getting a little bit of treatment, is he? As you see some Spanish fans banging the drums there and looking like they're thoroughly enjoying themselves. And why not when you side a 1-up as well? You're going to see here if there is going to be any subs needed for Spain with that chance there, for that injury there. So it doesn't look like there is going to be, though. Now they're going to continue, and Morata is going to sportingly play it back to the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. And Switzerland can start from the back again with the defender Akanji now. Here's Rodriguez and back to the goalkeeper again. And Sommer's going to play it upfield, looking for, I think that's Severovic on by Shaqiri, but given away. And Switzerland are going to just give the ball away there. Here's Morata now, looking for Ferran Torres up against the number 4, El Vardy. Good defending once again by the Swiss defender there. So a couple of times he's been in the right place at the right time and defended very, very well. And he's won a throw for his side as well, which Wiedmer is going to take. 29 minutes played. Switzerland 0, Spain 1. The goal coming about 20 minutes ago. Of course, in other news, Bril and Bono is currently off the pitch as well. He's been substituted, so there's no part that he can play in the game. And Shaqiri wins the throw there off of Ferran Torres. Of course, Shaqiri has been very much a bit part for Liverpool in recent years, and it'd be interesting to see whether he actually stays at Anfield as well, because I'm sure there's going to be options for him on the table to move on. The ball's out here now with the number 14, Zuba. It's certainly been one of Switzerland's bright sparks in this tournament so far. It's now with the number 8, Freuler. Up against Koke. Well defended there by Koke. And put behind for a throw-in to Switzerland. And it's now with the unfortunate man Zakaria, the man whose own goal is the difference. And now it's with El Vardy and given away. And here is Ferran Torres now. Knocked back to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba's effort was the effort on shot, the effort on target, sorry, I should say, which took the deflection off of Zakaria that gave Spain the lead. And it's them in possession now with Pau Torres and Aymeric Laporte just exchanging passes. And Spain just knocking it around at the moment with the back line and all the way back to goalkeeper Unai Simon once more, and just playing it around in a little triangle really at the moment, our Spain. And it's now with Pau Torres bringing it into midfield. Touch on by Busquets now to Azpilicueta, I think. And it's now out on the right-hand side with Sarabia. They've switched sides now, Sarabia and Torres, to kind of cause Switzerland some different problems. It's now with the number 5, Akanji, given to Wiedmer, trying to find the ball through to Seferovic, I think that is, but well defended by Spain. And it's now with the defender at left back, Jordi Alba. Going to knock it on to Ferran Torres. And back to Alba once more. And then back to Torres and Laporte now. And then back to Torres once more. Of course, if you look at the Switzerland side, you know, they've got plenty of options on the bench if need be as well for later on in the game. And Gavranovic is there, got a very good goal scoring record, 15 goals in 34 for him. And you know, if you look at Seferovic, who's on the pitch already as well, 24 goals for him, 25 goals for Shaqiri. There's goals in this Switzerland side, but of course they are missing the captain Granit Xhaka. And of course the manager, this is his 77th game as well. The manager being in charge from 2014, Petkovic, to present, and he's managed Lazio before that as well. He's got a decent record, in fact, with a 53% win percentage, the Swiss boss there. It's a very good record there from him, in fact, 53.25 to be exact. And it's with Spain right now, and here is Ferran Torres attached into midfield, where you find, I think that was the Gonzalez, and back to him again, back to Torres again. I'm looking for Morata, but couldn't quite get it through. And it's good defending in the end by the Swiss there. The goalkeeper come out and was able to deal with that one quite comfortably. And there's a chance here for Switzerland now to get this equaliser. Here's Seferovic. You're going to get a shot at goal. It's taking a deflection. It's now with Wiedmer, and it's gone behind for a corner now off of Jordi Alba. Still Switzerland 0, Spain 1, 33 minutes played. And Switzerland growing into this game a little bit now. Of course, Jordi Alba, who I mentioned earlier, who's involved in the goal, coming in place of Gaia. Of course, Pedri is also not involved today. There's a chance there for Switzerland, and it's towards the number 5, Akanji, and his header is too high and over the top there. And if you look at some of the other changes, I think that was Garcia as well. So I think there's actually 3 changes for Spain, with Garcia coming out, Gaia coming out, and Pedri coming out, with Torres, Alba, and Gonzalez coming in today's game. And of course, Alba having an impact already. And Switzerland have possession here now, looking for the number 23, Shaqiri. Going to get a corner here as well, off of Jordi Alba. Of course, if you look at the group, Switzerland finished 3rd in their group behind Wales and Italy. They beat Turkey to qualify on match day 3 with a couple of goals from Seferovic and Shaqiri. Of course, Italy beat them 3-0 as well when they drew 1-1 with Wales, which was in Bono's, where Bono shone and scored that day. It was a poor corner, but Zubar going to keep it in. They're going to win another corner as well. In fact, our Switzerland now off of the 26. Which is Pedri. In fact, so it's Pedri, Gonzalez. There's 2 changes for Spain. It was down differently on my team sheet today. In fact, there's a goal kick. It's with Spain now. And it's just going to be slowed down here. The defence of, I think that's Torres just knocking it back to Unai Simon. Into midfield it goes. Looking for the right attacker now of Ferran Torres. They've switched sides once again. Sarabia's back on the left now and Torres on the right. And the through ball now is to who was that there? Given, I think it was Jordi Alba there, got his cross all wrong. He did have Sarabia on the overlap as well, though. Of course, as I mentioned, those last couple of games, I've mentioned the previous game as well, the 3-3. And if you look at the final warm-up game, the Swiss won that 7-0 against Liechtenstein, with Gavranovic getting a hat-trick, Fortunac scoring 2, and Ed Nilsson Fernandez scoring as well, and also a Noah Frick own goal that day, which gave them the convincing victory and a good start to the build-up in regards to this tournament. And of course, if you look at Spain, they've had a very good time as well. They have beaten Croatia 5-3 last time, which saw them become the first ever side to score 5 goals in consecutive games, and also becoming their top goal scoring, becoming the top goal scoring team. Entering the quarterfinals with 11 goals as well, and also recording their own biggest win in Euro history surpassing their 4-0 victories over the Republic of Ireland and Italy in 2012, with the latter one, of course, being in the final as well. There's a goal kick here now. That's towards. That's a good header there by Sergio Busquets. We've got just about 7 minutes plus any additional time of the first half. Still Switzerland 0, Spain 1. And here's Zubar now. Plays it in to Zakaria. They're going to switch it out to Wiedmer. Going to use the man on the overlap as well, which is the number 11, Vargas, the substitute. Wiedmer gets it back and wins a corner. And they're trying to G up his side as well. It's good play there between Wiedmer and the substitute Vargas. And it's a corner here for Switzerland now. They have grown into this game since going 1-0 down. It's a corner whips in. It's headed over the top there by the on-running number 3, which is Wiedmer, involved again. Got round the back there, got to the ball ahead of Ferran Torres, and it was a good chance there for Switzerland to get level, but couldn't keep his header down. Of course, we've had some great games in this Euros as well. We've had plenty of games that we brought to you on the channel. Of course, we brought the games on Monday and Tuesday last week. We're going to be bringing you all of the quarterfinals as well on the Commentary Hub and JB Sports. Starting off with this one with myself, and then of course we do have Belgium, Italy from around about 7:45, I think it is, and then we've got England tomorrow, and before that, of course, Czech Republic against Denmark as well, which will conclude the last 8 to see who progresses through to the semi-finals. And of course, if the winners of this one will play the winners of Belgium and Italy in that semi-final as well, with the winners of the England game playing the Danes or Czech Republic. As we are entering the business stage of this tournament now. In fact, we're in the thick of the business stage, in fact. And there's that foul there on the Spanish man. He's still down. Not Morata, is it? Who was it? There's a chance here for Switzerland now, and it's through ball. Looking for, is that Seferovic? Is he onside as well? Is that a foul? The referee, there was an offside flag in there. And it was good defending. The flag went up for offside. He is ahead of play, so I think the referee has certainly got that one right. But there's also now an injury as well. It was actually linked towards Zubar. And it's the number 26, Pedri, who is down for Spain. And he's back to his feet now, just holding his back. But it's now with Spain on the attack once more. Just under 5 minutes left after the first half of the first Euro 2020 quarter-final here on the Commentary Hub and JB Sports. I'm your alternative match commentator, Mike Heineman, of course, and we will have the pundit Luke Turton coming in around about half-time, maybe for the second half. We'll have to confirm with him when he will be with us, but there's a chance here now for Busquets to play it out now to Sarabia. Whipped in and straight into the hands of goalkeeper Sommer. And well played. Just to bowl it out into his defence. And it's the El Vardy. Zakaria back to El Vardy once more. And it's now with goalkeeper Jan Sommer of Borussia Mönchengladbach, making his 66th appearance today. And it's gone out playing now for a Spain throw-in. Of course, when you look at it, Granit Xhaka is missing for Switzerland. I think this is the first time in something like 30 odd appearances that Granit Xhaka isn't available for the Swiss. Of course, he's been very good this tournament for them as well. The Arsenal man who might be moving on to AS Roma. Still nothing to confirm or deny on that one as of yet, though. There's now Unai Simon for Spain, and 2 defenders just combining now. And he's going to play it down the line here. Is Torres looking for Morata. Good turn, and he knocks it back to Busquets now. Good turn by Busquets. Lovely little couple of turns in there. Knocks it back to Laporte. Into Busquets again. Touch on back to Busquets now, and now it's with Azpilicueta and Torres. It's gone behind for a throw into Switzerland. 2 minutes plus any additional time of the first half. Still Switzerland 0, Spain 1. And it's a chance here for Pau Torres now. In fact, it's now Torres from Laporte, sorry, is it? No, it's Alba from Torres, sorry, I should say. Now back to Torres once more. Coming up towards the end of this first half. You're listening to the Commentary Hub and JB Sports for the Euro 2020 first quarter final. Switzerland 0, Spain 1. And it's the Swiss in possession right now with the defender, who is El Vardy. Freuler's there now. Now it's Rodriguez. Going to bring it back to El Vardy again. He's going to be forced backwards though to Rodriguez, to Akanji, sorry, is that now? And he's going to turn back and go back to goalkeeper Jan Sommer. Back to the defence once more. On to Rodriguez now. In fact, not Rodriguez that time. Zuba, I think it is. And Sommer there gives it to El Vardy. Coming up to the last 25 seconds of this first half. Here's Zakaria now. Now, given away. Is there a foul there on the Swiss man Zuba? I think there is. The referee says yes, there is as well. By Cesar Azpilicueta. Gone through the back of him and can't complain with that one as much as he's trying to. It certainly is a yellow. Is a free kick there and potentially a yellow card as well. I don't know if that referee's going to give that or not. Michael Oliver doesn't fancy putting out the yellow card as we are entering 1 minute of additional time. It's towards Seferovic now. And he's trying to get the cross in, but it's straight through to goalkeeper Unai Simon. And Spain are just going to take a couple of touches here now with Torres. Back to Simon again. So we enter the last 25 seconds or so of this first half. And it's with Pau Torres. Going to bring it into midfield now where he finds Busquets. He's going to play it out to Alba now onto Ferran Torres, is that? You couldn't quite see it. Was it Pedri? But anyway, it's it was Pedri, I think, that time. It's now with Wiedmer. And he plays it long and looking towards Seferovic, I think that is. And it's gone out now. And that is the end of the first half. It's still Switzerland 0, Spain 1. Spain taking the lead after about 8 minutes or so with Zakaria own goal. Jordi Alba with the shot on goal, and it took a deflection off of the Switzerland man and nestled in the back of the net. And thoroughly deserved as well, in my opinion. The Switzerland have got into the game more though. They have shown a bit more fight in the second part of that first half, and have certainly had some good moments going forward without really testing Unai Simon that much in the Spanish goal. But at half time, it's Switzerland 0, Spain 1. You're listening to the Commentary Hub and JB Sports as well. Of course, this is the first of our quarterfinals. We've got Spain's game here now. Then we've got Belgium and Italy following on with Matt Isles as well. Then tomorrow we've got Czech Republic and Denmark with Nicholas Jones, and also England and Ukraine with John Kane and Kieran Riley involved in that as well, and also I'll be involved in that in some capacity as well. But I'm going to take a quick break because it's only me here for the moment, so I will wait for Lou to get in shortly. But I'm going to go and have a quick 2 minutes just to go and get myself a top up of my drink. But at half time in the quarterfinal, it's Switzerland 0, Spain 1, and we will be back with you very, very soon. Hello, everyone. We are back now, ready for the second half. I will hopefully have my second half co-commentator Luke with me in a moment as well. We're going to get confirmation that he is available. I know he's just joined the live, so hopefully he will be with us in a second. Just going to confirm now, and in fact, he is here now. So just going to have to add him in. And so, good evening, Luke. How have you enjoyed that first half? What have you made of it?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mike. I think Spain have been a better side. I think Switzerland have missed Xhaka immensely this half.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that as well. Yeah.
And I think that brings me on to my next point. I think the Switzerland midfield need to get hold of the ball more. Because I think if they get hold of the ball more and dominate that midfield, then they could come back into the game. Since it is only 1-0. But I don't know. I just get the impression that Spain might just win this now.
And of course, if you look at the Switzerland side as well, of course, Mbolo had to come off as well, and he's a big player for them, and I'm sure a big miss as well now coming into the second half.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's like the two best Switzerland players are now missing, so it's all on Seferovic for me.
Of course, Shaqiri's still in there though as well. You don't write Shaqiri off, and of course, if you look at the bench, I might as well run through the bench now. In fact, there's Mbabu, obviously Vargas has come on. They've got Sal, they've got Forsnacht, who's obviously scored in the last warm-up game before the tournament. Gavranovic, who of course come on last time and had an impact. Fernandez, who I think was actually the last player to score for Switzerland in a victory over Spain. So there's players on there, of course, the Newcastle man in terms of Fabian Schär as well, the defender, but of course they want to be looking at attacking options at the moment. And of course, if you look at the Spanish side, they've got Moreno, they've got Rodri, they've got Olmo, they've got Oyarzabal, and actually they've got Adama Traore as well, which is quite a surprising name on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, they've both got options, which I think makes it for a very, very exciting second half. I mean, I don't think we've seen the last of the goals tonight, so just put that one out there. I think there will be a few more goals, few being plural.
Well, of course, if you look at the last two games that these two sides played, it was an 8-goal thriller for Spain. It was a 6-goal thriller and then a penalty shootout for Switzerland. So I'd be surprised if there wasn't any more goals yet.
That is another really good point. I think Switzerland are kind of a bit now behind on energy-wise from that game against France with it going to extra time and penalties. I know that those are the same for both sides, but I think because they played slightly later, I think it's showing a bit.
And of course, Spain, went one goal ahead in the extra time as well, didn't they? And I thought they were in cruise control when they went to 4-3. Yes, it was only the one goal, but I thought Croatia looked tired at that point, and I think Spain just kind of picked them off at will and didn't really get out of second gear after that. And of course, Switzerland, they went on a little bit further on into the night, as you say. They kind of played on, kicked off a little bit later as well, even though it was the same day. And even when you think about it, the momentum's got to be pretty even, really, because both sides have got through and both got some big results. But in terms of Switzerland, with Kylian Mbappe missing that penalty as well for France that saw them through, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do in the second half and whether they can force extra time again or go one better and maybe get a couple of goals and win it in the 90 or 90 plus.
Yeah, and I would say that, to be fair, I said that Spain were on top, but I don't think they've had many chances. I mean, the goal that went in was an own goal from Zakaria, which I think was very unfortunate, to be honest, that it went in. So, I don't know. I think both sides haven't really clicked into gear as such yet. So, you never know in the second half. We could see a totally different game.
And whilst we're here, obviously, we've still got a few minutes to kill before the game gets underway. Of course, later on is the game between Belgium and Italy as well, which Matt Isles is going to cover. Any thoughts on that one? How do you see that going? Who do you think is going to be the side that edges out that game?
Oh, that is the big question. I mean, Italy have looked dominant. They struggled a bit against Austria, but I don't think there'll be as much kind of. Belgium won't sit in against Italy, so I think it'll be a fairly open game. And it's really hard to call, but I still have money on Italy.
Okay, and of course the winners of this game play the winners of that game in the semi-final as well, and a great semi-final that will be whichever way it goes. Of course, if you look at the games tomorrow, England play Ukraine as well, and the game between Czech Republic and Denmark, a couple of really cracking games in there. And England, of course, people are saying England are on the favourable side of the draw, but it's only favourable if you win your games.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to Roy Keane before I came on, and there was speaking about resting players for the England game that are on a booking, and I agreed with his point where he said that we shouldn't really be looking past this game because you've got to win this game to get the next game. You can focus on who's missing for the game, if any, for the semi-final when you get there.
And I think if you look at it as well, yes, Declan Rice, yes, Calvin Phillips have been fantastic for England in the midfield, but there's still Jordan Henderson, there's still Jude Bellingham. There's plenty of options there for England as the two sides are actually back out now in the focus game, the game that we're going to bring you for the second half. So we'll touch on England a little bit, maybe at the end of this stream. But in the meantime, we'll get back to the here and the now.
No problems.
So we've got Switzerland about to get underway. The referee's just going to check that everybody's okay and that there's the right amount of players on the pitch, etc. And Switzerland are underway now, and it's with Akanji. He's going to just play it to El Vardy. And actually, what I will say to you, Luke, is El Vardy in that first half has been very, very good for Switzerland. He got once, maybe twice, where he was able to stop the front line, of Spain getting in, and it was the one through to Morata where he was able to deal with that quite well. And actually, I think El Vardy has been very, very good for Switzerland in that first half. I don't know what you make of his first half performance.
Yeah, I think having the players at the back that are crucial to dealing with people like Morata is always going to be a bonus because, I mean, I've not been impressed with Morata this tournament, but he's still a dangerous player. So, yeah, El Vardy had a decent half.
And there's a chance here for Spain now it's Morata once again, the man he was just mentioned. He's cut back and he's going to play it across here now, and it's a shot at goal, and it's straight into the hands of. So there actually is a substitution at half time as well, which they haven't even told me about. Danny Olmo's come on by the looks of it. It doesn't say he's come on for. But it looks like Danny Olmo has entered the fray because that was him there with that effort and straight into the hands of the goalkeeper there. Somos are just panning on Granit Xhaka there, and I'll have to just have a little look in a second to see who Danny Olmo has come on for Spain because obviously he's just had that chance there now. But it's with the Swiss at the moment and played down the line towards Zuba, and Zuba's had a great tournament as well. He's of course been involved in a couple of assists and a couple of goals, creations and opportunities for Switzerland, and that's gone behind for a corner there. And good goalkeeping by Simon. But just touch on Zuba. He's been one of Switzerland's star players as well as the likes of Mbolo and Xhaka as well, hasn't he, in this tournament?
Oh, definitely. I mean, he was really dangerous against France, and I think he'll grow into this game as it goes on as well, with Switzerland having a corner. I'm just trying to look it.
See who's on it, yeah.
The substitution for Olmo, by the way, Sabaria went off.
Oh, okay. So they've Sarabia. Okay.
Which I was going to say anyway, because it was on his side, but I just wanted to check.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for clearing that up. Thank you.
No worries.
So it's with Ferran Torres now, and not back to who's that in possession now? Cesar Azpilicueta has currently got the ball, and I think that's Koke as well. And now with the back line and just the two defenders just switching passes there between Torres and also Laporte as well, and a foul there by, is that Zakaria again? I think it is, yes. And if you look at the Spanish side, if you look at Busquets, Koke, they've got a decent midfield, of course, with Pedri in there as well. In fact, it's, a good three. And were you surprised when you saw the Switzerland lineup that they kind of weren't matching them at all? Or did you kind of see Switzerland going in the way that they have? There's just Ferran Torres here, but I'll throw to you after this chance. It's Morata, and there's a chance here for Morata to get it back. It's going to be tidied up by Switzerland now. So just going back to that point, were you a little bit surprised that Switzerland weren't matching up with Spain in terms of formation?
I think when you beat France like you did, I think that you just keep the side that, as much as possible, that got you that far. I mean, I think it's credit to the Swiss manager for believing in his own philosophy and not looking too much at the opposition.
It's a good point as well, and it's just a through ball there. It's gone straight through to Unai Simon, and he's looked, yes, he had that one moment in the first half that was a little bit scary, but compared to obviously the last game, where of course it was his own goal that was the difference earlier on that gave Croatia the lead. He's looked pretty, comfortable so far in this game. As Morata just gets the ball back there and he's won it back, in fact, as well now. And, he's had a decent game, actually. He's not had to make too many saves, but Unai Simon has looked relatively comfortable on the ball, hasn't he? As Dani Olmo's here now, just one-on-one with Wiedmann. He's into the box as well. It's a header from Morata, and not Morata, in fact, that time. That was actually the on-running midfielder, wasn't it? Which was actually Koke that time, sorry, I should say. But good bit of play there from Spain, and just Koke, getting up from midfield, done a good job there. But yeah, just touch on the goalkeeping situation in a minute with Unai Simon. Hasn't had to do an awful lot in terms of saves, but he's looked a lot more comfortable today than he did in the first half, in particular, of that game against Croatia.
Yeah, I mean, he was unlucky with the own goal. I mean, it was a backwards pass from Pedri that he just didn't control. And I think anywhere else on the park, it wouldn't be as bad if you didn't control the ball, because somebody else would probably clear it up. But when it's a goalkeeper, it ends up in the back of the net. So I don't think you can be too hard on Simon, seeing as they did actually make it through to this game. So yeah, it's been pretty assured so far. Let's head off commentator's curse.
Sure, it probably will be now. But now Switzerland has just got a throw in here, and it's now with the number 8 Freuler. Just playing it around at the back here now. I think Zakaria has got the ball here now, and he's going to play it out wide to I think that's Wiedmann there. And on to, I can't quite see who that is over on that side, but it's a cross in anyway. I think it took a deflection off of Busquets, which it did for a corner, and it was the number 11 Vargas there, the substitute, who of course come on in the first half to replace Bril and Bodo, who we touched on at half time, being a big miss for his nation. And Shaqiri's over this, and we've touched on Shaqiri in a moment as well. But it's whipped in now, and it's a very poor corner, in fact, as well. When it kind of brings me to the point on Shaqiri, what have you made of his tournament, and what have you made of this game? Because so far in this game, he hasn't really got into it, in my opinion. And if you look at that corner there, he just got it all wrong, didn't he?
I find Shaqiri's a bit of an interesting player, because on his day, he can be brilliant, like he showed against Turkey. But then in other games, he just doesn't seem to live up to his kind of the expectation of him on a good day. I think with that corner, I think he was trying to get it into the near post.
But it looked like he was trying to have a shot at it, and trying to catch the keeper out more than anything. Yeah.
And it looks great when it comes off. But when it doesn't, it just looks a bit pointless.
Rubbish. Yeah. I know what you mean. It's now with Azpilicueta for Spain, and he's going to play it into midfield. Azpilicueta, of course, got his first goal for Spain last time out against Croatia, and I think at one stage that was potentially going to be a winner, I believe, as well. But Azpilicueta, I think it was a lot of people's man of the match in that game, or up there for sure, within 3 or 4 names that were mentioned. And, so far this game, he's looked okay. He looked quite assured going forward, defensively solid as well. And Azpilicueta, last time out, scored his first goal. And he had a chance in the first half, didn't he, to double that tally for his nation as well. But it was just straight down the nose of Sommer. But Azpilicueta is looking quite good so far again today, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you don't become part of the Champions League winning side if you're not up to scratch, kind of defensively. And Azpilicueta has been around for some time now, and he just shows his experience on the park. I mean, the fact he can chip in with goals as well is amazing substitution here, Mike.
Yeah, Morata's just coming off to be replaced by Moreno, and that was a surprising factor last time out because we didn't see Moreno in the substitutions for Spain, but he's going to get about 36 minutes plus stoppage time today. Morata's done okay in that 54 minutes that he was involved as well, in my opinion. He's got himself around a bit, but it's nice to see Moreno come on because obviously last time out I was looking forward to seeing Moreno when he didn't feature, so it'd be nice to see what he's about and what he can do for Spain in the remaining part of this game.
I'd like to see Moreno from a different point of view, in the fact that I hadn't actually watched much of Spain pre the last game, so I've not really seen a lot of Moreno. So I'm intrigued.
I think he's certainly up there with one of their better players. Is very well rated. From all of the Spanish people that John Kane's spoken to, etc., they rate Moreno pretty highly. Laporte's just knocked that one behind for a corner though. Be taken quickly by Rodriguez to Shaqiri, whips in, and it's header there behind from, I think that's Busquets at the near post, and actually it wasn't Busquets, was it? It was it was Busquets, I think, and behind for a corner ball, and Seferovic is up from the back from the attack. Of course, is that the men from the back are all up as well. And there's a header there from Zakaria, and I think he's trying to make up for that own goal, isn't he? Was it Zakaria? I think it is the number 6. Yes, it was. Then he's got a point to prove now, being the man whose own goal was the difference so far, and he wasn't that far away there, really.
That was inches past the post. I mean, arguably, I'd say that is a pretty hard header. So to get that close is impressive. To get above the guy and then head it at that angle, that close. I mean, yeah, I'm impressed. On Busquets, by the way, once he's come back, he really has made a difference to this Spain team.
I think when you look at that, I think he's captain as well for this tournament, isn't he? So, with no Ramos, Busquets is certainly, showing his leadership really in regards to helping Spain over the line. And he's very solid in midfield, of course, very, very experienced for Spain, also for club as well. I don't know exactly how many games he's played without looking on my little bit of information here, whether I can find it, but he's made loads and loads of appearances, and it's got to be like in the hundreds of appearances for club and country, and you can see why.
Yeah, I mean, Busquets just gives you that experience in there, and when you've changed from no Real Madrid players, I think you do need to have those experienced players like Alba, Busquets in amongst it to help the ones that haven't been in the international fold before kind of evolve into it more.
Yeah, I think that's right. When you look at some of the younger players and some of the players that aren't really known for being a part of the international side, that have those sort of guys around really is a big help. And of course, when you've got no Ramos as well, to have somebody like Busquets is a massive help. There's a foul here on Omar, I think, by the number 4 Elvedi, who we touched on earlier, as we enter the 58th minute almost of this game now, and it's still Spain leading by a goal to nil, with the goal coming in the first half And a free kick here for Spain now. Foul on Laporte, I think that is, by Seferovic. And if you look at Laporte, of course, was given the option to stay with France, but decided to get more of a chance at Spain. I think that's a sensible move. What do you make of Laporte switching to Spain?
Without sounding like a bit of a parrot to every question, I find it interesting because France wouldn't have been a bad squad to join, but I think there was more openings with the way that Enrique.
Chance here, just wide of the goal there from that. I think that's from Ferran Torres. Quick free kick there, and it's good defending. Just off his chest there, and it's Seferovic that defended that one behind for a corner. But yeah, just carry on. Laporte, what were you saying?
Yeah, the way that Enrique wants to take the squad, I think having Laporte amongst the squad definitely helps with you not having Ramos or Piqué. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's chose Spain, but at the same time, I kind of like to see them in France as well.
That's a poor ball by Koke there, trying to find, I think that's Dani Olmo down the line, then just gone out of play there for a Switzerland goal kick. And I think when you look at Laporte, it's a good move for him to get into the Spain side. I think there's more chance. If you look at the French back line, who they've got a lot of really, really good experienced defenders. And it's quite a sensible move for him, really, in my opinion, to go for Spain. And I think he's done well today so far as well.
But at the same time, when you've got Varane, Kimpembe, Langley, Koundé, I think was the other one that was amongst it.
Yeah.
I think Laporte does get above, I'd say, at least Langley and Koundé for me in the reckoning for centre backs. So,
but it depends on how France would want to play, like how frequently they want to play free at the back, in whether we'd actually get into the side.
But for me, if you really, really look at it from this respect on domestic success,
yeah,
Laporte was amongst the champions of England. So I don't think PSG won the French league.
No, they didn't. It was very surprising, in fact, because I think was it Lille or Lyon, one of those won it. Yeah.
So you're picking Presnel Kimpembe, who hasn't won the French league, in your back four. Well, back three actually. You got Langley at Barcelona, who also didn't win their league.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But and Varane, who didn't win the league either.
Mm-hmm.
And technically speaking, if you're looking at French defenders at the time, surely Laporte has to be one of the top runners to get in on actual form. Yeah,
but then obviously, France's loss is Spain's gain at the end of the day, and we're kind of just debating this because it's what everyone's talking about really at the moment, and it's a chance here for Jordi Alba to whip it in though. But yeah, I think Spain fans and Spanish nationals or whatever it may be will certainly be pleased that Laporte has chosen them because he's forming a good partnership at the back with Pau Torres, and also of course the last game out as well, it was with the other defender Garcia. Yeah, so they've got a good partnership there, and of course Garcia and they know each other from club as well. So
yeah, I mean, adding Laporte into the Spain squad just brings up the quality a bit. I mean, looking at these Euros games, by the way, I've been a bit surprised with how many squads or actual 11s when they play have given the ball away so often.
Well, it's just happened there just a moment ago with Switzerland giving it to Spain, and then Spain have just won a corner now, so it's kind of right on cue, yeah.
But I was thinking more for the chance down the near side, where was it Koke just played the ball aimlessly to no one.
Just a minute ago, yeah.
Do you think that is because they've had less time together this season with international games? They just don't have the understanding.
Possibly. What's happening here? I think it's a Kanji. I forget there's talking to there. I'm not too sure what that's about, whether he's kind of pushing somebody on the line. I think he is. But be careful there not to give away a penalty, possibly. Let's have a look from this corner. Good delivery, a good headed by Akanji again, and actually it's all the way back now with the goalkeeper, is it? Yes, and Simon's going to just smash it forward to the left-hand side. I think that's Danny Olmo, is it? Yeah, he's going to take a touch against Wiedmer. Now it's now Elvedi again.
I'd like to see Switzerland do a bit more in Spain's half.
Well, they've not had a shot on goal yet. I think, certainly not on target. But here's Zubar now looking to change that out to Vargas. Vargas trying to find Zubar once more. That's a shot on target at least, and that's something, good play there actually between Vargas and Zubar, and that's a good save actually when you look at it from the goalkeeper Simon there. And I'm pretty sure that's their first attempt on target.
Yeah, and I think that backs up my point. I think Switzerland do look more together as a squad. As in, I think this is the few of them have been in the same squad together for quite some time. So they know what each other's going to do during a game. And I think Vargas and Zubar have just proved that.
Rodriguez is going to whip this corner in, and it's going to be cleared out by Spain. But yeah, that was gone. Vargas and Zubar there. It was good between the pair of them, wasn't it? It was kind of good interchanging, yeah. That's now with Rodriguez. Going to just touch that one on towards... Oh, that's Vargas, and it's just been knocked back to goalkeeper Simon there. 65 minutes almost played, and you see Granit Xhaka there barking out instructions like he would if he was playing. And, we touched on how big a miss he is earlier on, but to have him there and still being able to get his instructions, I'm sure he gave them their instructions at half-time as well, alongside the manager and maybe their other captain who they've got in place of him today. He's a leader, isn't he? So I'm sure he was certainly leaving instructions at half-time, even though he's not involved in the match-day squad due to his suspension.
Yeah, but I'd also expect that other individuals would be doing that anyway, because you should kind of all have a view on the game, regardless of whether you're the captain or not. So I think, it's great when you have a set captain that's good at leadership, but, you should have...
What's Danny Olmo going to do here? He's giving the ball through to... Is that Moreno? No, it wasn't quite... who is it now? Just... Can't see now. It's Moreno. There you go. He's switched over to that side at the moment. He's not really playing through the middle there, which is where you kind of would expect him to play. And it's now back with the defence again. Sorry, it's I think that's Torres. Is it that time? This whips forward now. Is that a free kick? There's a free kick there on Busquets, and the first yellow as well, which goes. Did that go to Frauner or did that go to? The number 3, Wiedmer. I think it went to Wiedmer, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Just a hypothetical question for you, Mike. If Switzerland do get a penalty, do you think they'll opt for somebody different than Ricardo Rodriguez?
I wouldn't see why. I don't know why they'd want to change it, so probably not. Because
I heard a stat in the last game that he'd missed the last 3 or 4 penalties he's taken for Switzerland.
Did he take one in the shootout though, or no?
I think he went off, didn't he? He was subbed off in the second half.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But he missed one in that game.
Yeah, of course, he did miss it, because that would have made it 2-0, wouldn't it? Yeah. Just knocked back by Wiedmer to the goalkeeper, Sommer there. But maybe, actually, if you look at the fact that the 5 penalty takers that they had all scored theirs, possibly they would change it. But that's a good call. I don't know what other people make. If there's people in the comments, what do you make of that comment? Do you think, if Switzerland were to get a penalty, would Rodriguez take it for you, or would the fact that all of their penalty takers scored last time out in the shootout, one of those 5 potentially take it instead? Let us know what you think. There's a chance here for Switzerland now. It's going to be whipped in, and it's a great goal by Shaqiri. And he just passes that one into the back of the net there. And we touched on Shaqiri earlier. about that corner that he got completely wrong. Well, he got that one right. Great through ball as well. Touched onto him, and calm as you like, really, just passes that into the back of the net, past Unai Simon, and game on again. We're back level with Shaqiri's goal, making it one apiece there, Luke. So, what do you make of that bit of play there from Switzerland? It was, of course, they won the ball back as well. A bit of poor defending. I think it was Seferovic knocks it on to Shaqiri there. In fact, it wasn't. It was number 8 Freuler. In fact, who knocks it onto him, and lovely pass across there. And Shaqiri just passes it, rolls it into the corner of the net, really, and levels it at 1-1. So,
I mean, great link-up play from Switzerland and great determination to get the ball, start off with. But where was the communication between Laporte and Pau Torres, who was going to have that ball? Because they both came together, collided with each other, and the ball was presented to Freuler. So, I mean, Spain at the back there have shown a bit of vulnerability of no communication between the two centre-backs.
It's a great point. And, of course, yeah, that's a great point. And, of course, they've changed their centre-backs today as well on the back of the last game. And maybe that's going to come back and bite them now. As it looks like Switzerland are going on the attack against Shaqiri, trying to find the on-running. Was that Vargas? I couldn't quite see, but Simon come out and done really well. It was actually towards Zubar. But Switzerland now, they want to get this second straight away, don't they? They're really looking for turning this game on its head really quickly now.
Like I said at half time, I can still see goals in this second half because, I mean, now there's going to have to be another goal in this kind of second half, otherwise we get extra time.
Yeah.
So
it's with Elvedi at the moment, and if you look at this side for Switzerland, I thought really that they'd grown into this game on the back of going 1-0 down. As it's Rodriguez there now, knocks on to Zubar, gets it back as well, and can't quite keep it in play. But I thought when they went 1-0 down, they kind of grew into the game anyway, and I think they're pretty deserved really of their equaliser for me.
Yeah, you see, this is what I'm saying though, with the makeups of the squads. The fact that this squad, Swiss squad, has been around together for, I'd say, quite some time now, with a few additions scattered in here and there. So obviously, like Gok and Inler aren't in it anymore. But
yeah,
I don't know. Spain seem to have that vulnerability at the back because they conceded 3 against Croatia. They've now conceded at least 1 against Switzerland. So I don't really think they've really got as strong a back line as they did when they had obviously PK, Ramos, Puyol, Capdevila, Albiol. It's scary how I can just do that.
Just name one of their squad. But no, if you look at their group as well, the opening game they drew with Sweden 0-0, didn't they? I thought the Swedes were very good defensively that day. Also in their group, who else was in their group? It was Switzerland, Spain, Poland, of course. That was a draw against Poland as well. I think it was 1-1. And then the final game, they won, didn't they, to get through. So I can't remember who that was against right now. I think it was
Slovakia.
Slovakia, that's right. They won that quite convincingly, didn't they, as well? Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I wasn't very impressed with Poland.
No.
And Slovakia, I'm just seeing if this turns into anything before I continue.
No, it doesn't look like it has. Just after just defending well there, yeah.
And Slovakia, for me.
Hold on, just Rodriguez, or what's on here now? Zubar, defended. It's just out in midfield. Carry on, yeah.
And Slovakia, for me, a decent on the day. But again, I think with both Poland and Slovakia, the hype is really on Lewandowski and Hamsik.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, do those squads have anything different to offer? I mean, Poland each year seems to come into competitions and people go, yeah, they'll make it through to at least the round of 16 because they've got Lewandowski. Will they? I mean, There's got to be more than
Just a
just one
chance
player.
here. A bit of good player from Spain, but it's an offside against Moreno now, who looks like he's played everywhere across the front line, but actually through the middle since he's come on, which is a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and I think Spain are better at this than the comparison I'd give to my club side when the striker goes out wide, because they do actually get people into the box. But I always think if you're coming on as the striker, you should at least be in the middle, because especially if you've got one up front, because if you go out wide, then your midfielders are really, really going to have to be in the box. Otherwise, who is there to aim at?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, if you look at the midfielders, they've got some good passing midfielders. That's actually a great pass. Talking of good passes as well. Out now to Alma, I think that is, and good defending there by the Switzerland man that's gone behind. Is it for a throw here, which Spain's going to take with Alba? And they've got Koke, Busquets, Pedri. They're all great passing midfielders. But if you're not looking for the on-running striker, something that's going to have the movement to get on the end of your passes, and it's not really worth having 3 really good passing midfielders in there, is there? Like, you could stick with 2.
I mean, if you're looking at the Spain midfield of Busquets, Koke, and Pedri, I mean, I think
Moreno on again. That's Azpilicueta, and that's just a poor ball. But that's exactly what I was saying there. Like, it's Jordi Alba then just now, but Azpilicueta on the overlap there gets the ball into the box, and there's nobody there. And Moreno's just passed him the ball. That should be Moreno going on the end of that ball from Azpilicueta, not passing the ball through to him to get the cross in.
Yeah, and you got to almost say that to the guys in midfield that, come on, I'm the striker, and I'm playing balls out to the fullback who gets the ball across to absolutely nobody.
Exactly.
I should be on the end of that to put it in. That's my job. You should be the ones playing it out to Azpilicueta. But at the same time,
Danny Olmo, what's going to happen here? It's poor cross there, but it's actually took a deflection behind for a corner. Elvedi again, but yeah, Moreno. I think in that one he was in the centre. Was he? Yeah, he was. But coming down that side, the left-hand side, it looks like he's trying to get into the box more. But on the right-hand side, he's kind of coming out to the right and sort of playing right attacking mid rather than actually through the middle, which is a bit unusual.
But if that's the case and he's doing that, then there's got to be some intelligence on the field to think, well, our striker's out wide. I'm going to go and take up the position he should be in, so at least somebody's on the end of the crosses when they come in. Not just leaving the box empty. It's a collective thing of if some player moves out of one position, somebody needs to fill in that position.
Oh, decent opportunity here for Spain now, and it was Pau Torres. Just couldn't quite get on the end of it. And it's straight through to the hands of Sommer. It's a good cross in as well when knocked on by Laporte to Torres there, and actually good defending by, I think it was, might have been Freuler, but there's a foul here now. And there's a red card. We've had a red card for a Swiss man here now. And I don't even know what really happened. I just saw the referee, Michael Oliver, go to his red. Remo Freuler has been sent off here now with 14 minutes of the 90. Foul on Moreno, I think it is. That is late, though. Let's have a look here. But it does look like he wins the ball first and then goes through a little bit later. But then obviously it's reckless play, isn't it? So potentially, if you look at that from that kind of side of things, I think the red card will probably stand, although they are going to look at it with VAR, no doubt.
I think tackling in the game is just gone. I mean, I understand that if you go like that, it's reckless play, but at the same time, you can see he's won the ball first.
Yeah.
The ball moves.
Yeah.
And what's he supposed to do in that position? Just stand there and let the Spanish guy have the ball?
looks like he's talking to one of the. Was that the assistant there? I don't know who that was. It looked like Jurgen Klopp, actually, to be fair. But
but it's like it wasn't like the Sweden one when he was sent off and they nearly took.
No, exactly. That was blatant. It was obvious, and I think VAR have looked at this and said, "Yeah, red card will stand." Now Spain are 12 minutes away from. Go on.
In the rule book that they follow for VAR, that isn't a clear and obvious mistake.
There's a header there, and it's just wide of the goal from Moreno from that free kick there, whipped in by Koke. I wonder how Switzerland are going to regroup now, because of course Freuler got an assist as well. He was the man that assisted their equaliser, and now he's kind of gone from hero to villain, isn't he? So I see what they have to do. Of course, they're missing Xhaka, our midfielder, as well. I don't know what they'll have to do now, Switzerland, in regards to regrouping.
But just to go back to the point I was making, the kind of criticism of that isn't on the referee's decision, because that was a red card on kind of what we've seen throughout the whole of the season domestically.
Yeah,
that was
sure.
a red card in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if you're going to tackle and you win the ball, it's the follow through that does it. But it's not like it's a dangerous follow through that's hampered the player's play, because his feet are on the ground. It's not like it's off the ground and really dangerous play.
It's not been a dangerous or dirty game. I think we only had one yellow card up until that point as well, though. So for the referee, to pull out a red card for that, I understand why he's done it, because it did look reckless. Yes, he won the ball first of all, but then if you look at the actual follow through, then you understand why it's a red. But it's not a dangerous game. This game has been really, really well kind of fought out between the two nations, but it's not been dangerous or there's not been ridiculous challenges being flung around left, right, and centre. So there's a few different options in regards to maybe looking at that with VAR, but obviously he has sent him off. So I don't know what else you can really say. Is Shaqiri is the man, the goal scorer now has to make way as well. When Djibril Sal comes on, and of course Shaqiri's just scored a goal not too long before that, which is assisted by the number 8 Freuler, who's just been sent off, and now it's the end of Shaqiri's game, and it's not his fault, but he's the man that's had to be sacrificed because of where he plays, kind of playing in behind those front two.
And it looks like Seferovic is going off for Gavranovic as well. So I think what we need to realise now with Switzerland is there's 9 minutes to go. It's 1-1.
Yeah.
They're now going to probably be playing for extra time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So they'd be stupid not to.
And I think, for me, looking at this, I have seen 10-men sides be better than the 11 men.
Mm-hmm.
Because all they do is they sit there, they make it difficult, and they hit you on the counter. And I think with this Spanish team, that's what they were already doing anyway. So for me, yes, there's one less man, but that's just where the team togetherness comes in, communication comes in, and if you get a goal that's just pure brilliance, they just put your hands up and clap.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you remain in this game still, as you said, there's 8 minutes plus stoppage time remaining before potential extra time, and Switzerland would be foolish really not to try and just see it through. So that yes, they might be able to hit him on the counter. It all depends on how much Spain want to win it as well in the 90 minutes. Because if they want to really try and win this in the 90 minutes and they're pushing everybody forward, then they'll still get chances on the counter attack Switzerland anyway, and something still could happen. Even though they're a man down, they could still have a chance of maybe getting a winning goal anyway. Here's Moreno though, and it's just fired wide of the goal there. But no, in fact, it was Ferran Torres. But if you come to that point that I just made, there's always going to be opportunities on the counter attack. If Spain, now they have the extra man, are surely going to be going for this, wanting to get the job done in the 90. Then Switzerland could still get them on the break and counter on them anyway.
You see, Switzerland have already pulled off the most surprising thing by dumping out France.
Yeah.
Now, they've not had Xhaka, they've lost Mbolo to injury, they've took Shaqiri off, they've lost Frula to a red card, Seferovic has just gone off.
Yeah.
So, would you arguably say that if they get through in this game, that would be even bigger than the France one?
Arguably, you can look at it like that because they're a man down and they're without their captain. And of course, they lost Mbolo early on. But France are a lot of people's favourites, or were a lot of people's favourites, I should say, to go on and win the tournament. They were my favourite to go on and win the tournament. So, arguably, people might look at it like that because of the red card. But in terms of getting through, it's an effort here now. From Spain, it's straight through from Moreno. Sorry, to the hands of Sommer. But arguably, people might look at it like that because of the red card and everything else that kind of come with this game. But no, France being everyone's favourites or most people's favourites, getting knocked out in the way they did, and Mbappe being the man that missed the crucial penalty as well. Who knows? Like, for me, I think that's still more of a shock than if they were to go on and win this one.
I just look at it more beating France was a bigger shock, but achievement. I'm talking on 85 minutes at 1-1.
Yeah.
That far with no Xhaka. You had Mbolo for about 15 minutes ish.
20 minutes, 22 minutes, something. Yeah.
You took off Shaqiri, you took off Seferovic, you had Frula sent off. That's 5 probably your first choice players now not on the field.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
If this goes to extra time and they win, I think that's credit to the whole Switzerland side. Yeah,
of course it'd be massive credit for Switzerland if they go on and win the game. Even if they were to go on and win it on a penalty shootout or whatever it may be. It's huge credit for Switzerland if they go on and win this game and progress through to the semis. But I don't think it's, more of a shock than the France game.
Oh, no, it will be more of a shock. I just think it'd be kind of the next thing up from doing France would be doing Spain. I
suppose, obviously, you'd be getting through to a Euro semi-final as well. So, when you look at it like that, first time ever getting through to a semi-final. This is the first time I've ever got through to a quarter-final, in fact, as well. So, it is a big achievement. Don't get me wrong. Even to get to this stage, you could potentially say 86 minutes now we are still 1-1. They've come back from 1-0 down without their captain, without, they're probably one of their star strikers. Of course, the red card as well, just after the goal, when they're, doing okay actually, and still looking like they can, maybe get something on the counter as well. And there's a good chance. I think that's Gavranovic there just a moment ago as well involved, and of course he had an impact last time out. But they're still in this game. They're still getting bodies forward as well, which I like to see for a side that have got a man less. And just to even get through to this stage and potentially get through to a semi-final, it's a massive achievement for Switzerland. Yeah.
Well, I just want to big up Elvedi again, by the way. We said it at the start of the half, but I've actually watched the half and actually totally took in the defensive play. He's been amazing. Just then when he intercepted that kind of flick shot from whoever it was.
Started the counter attack as well. Yeah.
And he just directed it straight down, so it took all the sting out of it, and someone could just basically just catch it. And I think that's brilliant, kind of awareness and determination to just put your head there.
I think there's going to be a substitution for Spain. I think it's Llorente coming on now.
Brilliant. Love to see it.
Marcus Llorente? Or Marco Llorente, yeah. Jordi Alba's in a bit of pain now. Maybe he'll be the man that comes off. I don't know. There's just, and it could be a Swiss sub is there as well. Shaqiri is just going to sit back down again. He's got an injury, which is why he went off, in fact. He's got something around his knee there. And it is going to be the sub in a moment, but Spain are just playing it around at the back. And now with Moreno, and now Azpilicueta, and now it's with Laporte, is it? Yeah, onto Torres. What's Torres going to do with this now? Plays it out to Alba. Is Alba back on? I think it might have been. And it's still just been knocked around. It's with Torres now for Spain. And of course, they're going to still fancy their chances. There's probably be a few minutes of stoppage time, probably 4 minutes of stoppage time, I think, as well, maybe. And it's Moreno now whips it in. Good head there by Elvedi once again. And here's Sicario now. They just knock it onto Rodriguez. But still waiting the substitution to be made. Rodriguez has just brought it into the Spanish half. Looking for... That was... who was that? I think it might have been...
Gavranovic?
No, it might have been Vargas, I think, because Gavranovic was through the middle there. But anyway, yeah. It's with Spain anyway in midfield at the moment. And
I don't know, because 14 was the one that was in the middle.
Oh, maybe it was Zuba in the middle then, yeah. Okay. Maybe it was Gavranovic. But here's Laporte now to... Can't see the number on the back of this shirt, but it's with the Spanish midfield anyway. Here's Laporte again. Out wide to Azpilicueta now as we enter almost the 90-minute mark. There's a chance here for Spain that's gone straight through to Jan Sommer, and that's Koke with the cross there. I think we'll probably have about 4 minutes stoppage time, I think. Let's see if I'm right or not. So let's come off Sicario into the hands of the goalkeeper there.
Again, determination from a Swiss player to take the sting out of the shot.
You can call me Mystic Mike. I've got that one bang on. 4 minutes of stoppage time it is indeed.
Mike, I might ask you at the end of this stream who Forest are going to sign, see if you get those right too.
No one.
That's kind of scary, worrying.
There's Dani Olmo now. No, it's a good tackle there from Wiedmer. Of course, we will be back with you later on as well in around about an hour's time with Belgium and Italy with Matt Isles bringing you the coverage of that one, as that was towards Sal there and gone out of play. And it's now going to be time for that substitution with the number 8, Koke, making way for Marcus Llorente.
Well, you say in an hour's time. It all depends kind of when this one finishes, what the gap is between each one.
Well, it's still going to start at 7:45 nonetheless. It's Stephen Suba is coming off now. And on comes the number 16, Christian Fürstnacht. So that's another one of their star players, really, coming off now for Switzerland. And maybe even a little bit, as you said earlier, Luke, maybe where they're looking to go into the extra 30 minutes now, because I think that is quite a defensive-minded substitution, really, that one.
I think as well, though, to freshen it up in extra time, I think isn't a bad thing when you've got 10 men, because you're going to have to do a hell of a lot of running. So
Nothing happened there with Moreno just whipping that one through to the hands of Sommer. But, just about halfway through the injury time now. Still remains Switzerland 1, Spain 1. Let me just...
poor kick from Sommer.
Get that back on. It was a very poor kick from Jan Sommer, in fact, yeah. There's a head injury there for Gavranovic, is it? And Laporte gone through the back of him there. And a yellow card has been issued to the Manchester City centre-back. It's probably only about the third booking of the game, and yet we still had a red card in there as well.
I mean, this game is starting to heat up a bit, I think.
A little bit. It's getting there, yeah. It is getting there. It's going to be Rodriguez with this free kick now. Going to whip it into the Spanish area, looking for Gavranovic, I think it was, but it's now Zakaria. There's a chance here for Spain now. It's now, is that Jordi Alba, is it? I think. There's Zakaria now. Dani Olmo, as he fouled there, he is, I think, as well. Pulled back. Wants to take it quick. And it's going to be switched by Busquets, I think, to Azpilicueta now. Now it's with Moreno. On the overlap is the substitute Llorente. He wins a throw there as well off of Akanji. 20 seconds or so of the injury time remaining.
Probably a little bit more because of the substitutions in extra.
That's true. And there's a chance here for Spain. Whipped in. Good defending by Akanji there. And his, Rodriguez has gone down, but they've won a free kick as well. There's Llorente fouling Rodriguez there. And I think that's it. That is the end of the 90 minutes plus the additional time as well. We've got another 30 minutes more. And at the full-time mark, it's finished Switzerland 1, Spain 1. And what are your overall thoughts on that, Luke, in regards to Switzerland coming back and, of course, holding on after the red card as well?
I think it took a different way than I was expecting at half-time. I mean, I was expecting a lot more goals than I actually had. But I think it's been definitely a decent half to watch and a decent game on the whole. And I think having 30 more minutes of this game, I'm not disappointed, to be honest, because Switzerland have basically battled the second half when they went down to 10 men. And Spain, for all they kind of play around the box, they've not really got that final ball right.
I think you have to look at that. And, of course, they do have Olmo and Torres. They've still got plenty of attacking threat there to get these crosses through to Moreno. And maybe Moreno might get through and kind of, be the match winner for Spain. Still in the half an hour or potentially in the penalty shootout if it goes that far as well. But, yeah, again, we get another game that goes through to extra time. And these knockout stages are really hotting up, aren't they, as well, with both of these sides going to extra time in their last game as well as the game today.
Well, nobody wants to lose. So I think if you get a goal back and it's a draw with 70, 80 minutes to go, you're just going to, especially if you're down to 10 men, you're going to defend and not lose. And at the end of the day, Switzerland have now got 30 minutes to decide kind of the way they want to do it. And I think they'll try and play all the way through to penalties. I
think that probably wouldn't be a bad argument for them to do that. Of course, there is substitutions available as well. I think Switzerland have made 4. Spain have made 3, I believe. And, of course, now in extra time, I think they can make an extra sub as well. So I think there's now, rather than 5 subs, you can actually make up to 6 subs, I believe, for each side as well.
Indeed. So that should make it very interesting. I mean, it'd merely be for me just changing players around and for freshening it up more than actually tactically adding X player on for Y player, let's say. And I think so far I've been impressed with all of Switzerland backline, but Elvedi in particular.
I think so far, I'm not going to give man of the match until a little bit later. In fact, I'll let you do that. The fact you're on co-coms today, I think I'll allow you to pick your man of the match, and we'll go with that rather than anyone that I was going to say. And we'll do that at the end of the 90. Sorry, we normally do it at the end of 90 minutes, but we'll do it at the end of extra time. If it goes into penalties, we'll still just give it at the end of extra time anyway.
That's totally cool. It gives me an extra 30 minutes to decide because at the minute it'd be pretty easy, but in extra time, anything can happen. So, and by anything, I mean anything.
Absolutely. I'm sure we could see loads more goals yet as well. That's the wonderful world of football, isn't it?
Yeah, it's why we love football. When it goes to extra time, then maybe teams come out a bit more, or I mean, in Switzerland's case, they'll just sit, and try and keep it as solid as possible, like they're doing toward the back end of that half, for another half an hour. I mean, it's going to be taxing for them to do it for half an hour, but again, that's what makes world-class footballers. If they can handle it for another half an hour, then penalties it is. So we'll see.
And jumping ahead a little bit, if you look at the Switzerland and the Spain side, whilst we're still waiting for just the extra time to get underway, effectively be underway in a second, I believe. As you see the Swiss manager there just getting some instructions across. Who wins this for you? Do you think Spain will have enough, or do you think Switzerland will have enough to get it through to penalty shootout, and then potentially they might be able to do the job again?
Well, it all depends on whether Switzerland are solid enough, or if Spain have too much quality. I mean, I honestly don't know.
All right, it's going to be Switzerland to kick us off with Gavranovic. Back to Zakaria as we now enter extra time. It's going to be played down the line for a Swiss man, and it's them that have started on the front foot so far, but they have given the ball away like that. And it's now with Laporte. Not Laporte, sorry.
Llorente.
Thank you. Now it's with the back line, Laporte and Torres now. Just exchanging passes. And Laporte has just brought it into midfield there now. And this is what I find interesting about Spain. You see their defence coming forwards and sort of playing quite high. That's a chance here now for Spain. Just Alba is going to give that one away. And there's a chance here for them to go again now, Spain, with Dani Olmo. That's, when you look at this, they're quite high up the pitch, aren't they? The Spanish defence. And, pretty much, I think everybody's camped in the Switzerland half at the moment from a Spain perspective, bar the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I think that's, Switzerland players are also in the half, I believe. So it all depends on who gets the ball for Switzerland and whether they can counter quickly.
And it's with Switzerland now, and in fact they can't counter there because that's given away. And Spain just knocking it around in midfield at the moment with Busquets now in possession. Out to Azpilicueta, onto, is that Torres, I think maybe. And it's now going to be whips in here. Looking for Moreno, who's beaten to it at the near post, and good defender there. And it's now Rodriguez just tries to clear it, but only as far as Llorente, I think that was. And now it's with Alba on the left-hand side. Going to whip it into the box, and it's put wide there by Moreno. And every Spanish fan that's watching on from this game, they'll look at Joao Moreno's chance there and think that's a big opportunity for them. And it is, because Elvedi, he mistimed his interception there. And you see Moreno's reaction as well. He's kicking the post in frustration. And, for a striker of his quality, you'd expect him to bury that one.
You have to hit the target from that chance. I mean, I think I'm sure he side-footed it, but it may have come off his front of his foot. I'm not sure. I didn't get too much look at it, but it just seemed very rushed.
I think he was kind of put off a little bit by Elvedi, and he probably didn't expect Elvedi to miss the interception the way that he's played today. Obviously, he's had a really good game. But here's Dani Olmo now for Spain, and it's Azpilicueta now into, is that Llorente? I think it might have been, but it's Olmo anyway. And it's Moreno now. He's going to get a shot off, is he? No, good defending. And Rodriguez stood very, very well down and stood up tall. And Spain really fancy their chances with the extra man as well. But Switzerland, you can see they're defending really deep. They've got everybody back in their own half there behind the ball. And they're just defending with, two banks of four, really. And then obviously the two men up top who are not really up top, really. They're just up top in that half, who are still defending anywhere as well. And two subs for Switzerland in a minute as well.
Yeah. Two Switzerland changes coming up. And I think as well, Switzerland are just using the principle now of, can we just kind of get through this first 15 minutes unscathed?
And that's Sal to Gavranovic, I think it is. And now it's with the number 16, First Nacht, out to Vargas. And it's gone out of play there for a throw-in. And there should be time for these two substitutions as well now. Of course, Vargas was the first substitution made by Switzerland in the normal game itself. 22 minutes, I believe, going on for Mbola. Bit of Spain in possession now with a through ball looking for Moreno, and it's good defending by Elvedi once again, who's able to just smash the ball into the Spanish half. And I think there's two subs going on. One of them's 22, Fabian Schär of Newcastle. I'm not too sure who the other one was. It might be another defensive change. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. As Spain have got an opportunity here now, though. It's going to be a shot of goal, is it, by Alboza, and it's a good save by Sommer. It was actually Dani Olmo with the effort, and Sommer just parries it over the top.
The second change is number 2 for Switzerland.
Babu. Okay, right.
I think anyway, it said number 2 on the back.
Yeah, so that'd be Mbabu then. So it's two defensive changes, yeah. Which is no surprise.
Going forward, though.
That's true, but it's no surprise bringing on these two. Of course, it's no surprise they're not doing it here either. And it's whips in from the corner. What's the referee going to give here? Nothing at all. It's just comfortably headed across there from Llorente and comfortable for Sommer. And these two sides will probably be made in a second because obviously they don't want to make them from a defensive corner. But in fact, Spain has still got possession now, though. He gets Llorente again. Out to... Couldn't quite see who that was. Looking for Moreno, but well defended. Given away, though. Can he get a shot away here, is he? No. Here's Dani Olmo again. He gets a shot away. He's taking a deflection off of his own player, I think. And behind there, he might come off of Moreno, was that? Let's have a look here. Dani Olmo's effort. Yeah, it did come off Moreno and behind for a goal kick. And almost wrong-footed the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, I think there's just too much off the deflections and just deflected it wide in the end. So we've gone through 7 minutes so far, still at 1-1. So
yeah,
Switzerland definitely are doing their damnedest to defend this.
And we're still waiting for these two subs as well, which haven't been made as of yet. There's Moreno to Olmo now. Good touch by Dani Olmo. Is he going to beat Akanji to the ball? No, he's not. Very good defending there by the Swiss number 5. And in fact, he's giving it away now, though. Here's Olmo again. Is that a foul? Yes, it is. A free kick there. Well played, Dani Olmo. Wiedmer is the next one to give away a free kick there. I think he's only yellow card is Wiedmer as well, actually, I believe. It's Dani Olmo over this one now. With
yeah, Wiedmer did get booked in the second half of normal time.
Yeah, I thought so.
I remember you saying it.
Yeah. It's going to be Olmo's free kick. Pass short, and it's going to be out to Alba now. Good back heel there by Pau Torres, looking for Moreno and straight through to Sommer. Decent.
One thing I'm very good at is remembering bookings and things.
Yeah, no, decent 8 minutes of extra time so far, though. It's been quite entertaining, really, without obviously neither side getting on the score sheet as of yet.
It's been a fairly entertaining game, to be fair, because although you've not seen many goals, the play hasn't been slow and laborious. It's been more it's been fast paced, and you can see that, and up until the red card, definitely that both sides really, really wanted it. And
Yeah.
now he really wants it.
There's Olmo now, and you can see when they are playing a little bit slow, it's kind of more not because they're cautious, just because they're trying to make sure they're picking out the right passes. And there's a chance here for Olmo. There's a shot goal deflected wide there off of Akanji by who was that? There it might have been Lorente, I think, with the effort, but it's gone behind for a corner. And it's not like slow as in passive slow. It's slow as in more like looking for the right passes, etc. Yeah, there's a good header there, just wide actually by is that Moreno on the end of that one?
Believe so.
I think it was. He just got there ahead of Aspilicueta, not Aspilicueta. Sorry, got there ahead of
Laporte.
the number Laporte. Yeah, and they're going to make these two subs now. It's going to be the number 6, Sicario, one of the men coming off. He's done his bit today. Of course, he was unfortunate with the own goal that gave Spain the lead, but actually, he's not looked too bad for Switzerland either. He's, bar that little bit of unfortunate play there. You know, it's a fairly decent game for him as Wiedmar comes off as well. Just probably so they don't get another red card to deal with.
Yes, that's probably why Wiedmar has come off. But I think Zakaria as well. He's playing some shift tonight. That's been an impressive work he's done tonight. So I think, yeah, those two subs make total sense to me.
I think so as well. There's a free kick here now for Spain against Cher straight away. It's involved straight away in the action. There's a chance here for Spain. Is that Moreno? I think it is. And it's good. Oh, no, that was Moreno on the end of it. And it was a good save by the goalkeeper there. Somewhere to put it behind.
Been impressive, Jan Sommer, this tournament.
That might have been, was that Pedri who was involved? It might have been. Let's see. Anyway, there's an opportunity there straight away from Moreno. But yeah, Sommer, good goalkeeper. Yeah, certainly been impressed with him myself as well. It's whipped in there. It's number 21 actually taking it, which is Oyarzabal, who's actually come on for Spain, but I don't know who he come on for or when.
He came on for Pau Torres on 90 minutes.
Come on for what? Ferran Torres?
Ferran Torres, I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they weren't obviously come on at the end of the into extra time then.
It's lucky I have the BBC website with the lineups lined up on my screen, so I can just.
Yeah, it's almost corner, whipped in. Good goalkeeping again. There's a man down anyway. Free kick given, and they didn't tell us that, so they're kind of making us work extra hard for. I would say our money, but we're not getting paid.
But for our coverage, Mike, for our coverage.
Yes.
To act knowledgeable, we have to actually go and get the information tonight and not just it given to us on a plate.
Absolutely, yeah. Coming up to the end of the first half of extra time, just about 3 minutes away from that, plus additional time if there is going to be any of that as well. We've got Russ in the studio, so we might get some thoughts from him as well.
Oh, interesting.
See what he's made of this game. And
that's good. I'll be able to have a quick break between halves.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah. And then we've got a free kick there against Gavranovic, it was, and it's now Jordi Alba, and now it's with Torres and Laporte. Back to Torres again. A chance here for Dani Olmo to try and play this through. Is he going to get it back as well on the edge? He is. He gets Oyarzabal again. A good save there by Sommer. And that's what I'm impressed with Jan Sommer for. Those sort of stops like that. You know, that's a really good save from
I think every game he just gets put batteries in that are fully charged for the whole game and the extra time because he just never stops diving, as in the right way.
There's a corner here now, whipped in. And again, good goalkeeping there. And in fact, the goalkeeper Sommer was fouled anyway in the build-up as he just parried that one out and punched it clear. And really good hand there, strong hand from the goalkeeper, getting there ahead of the Spanish number 9 Moreno as well there.
Again, brilliant. Jan Sommer commanding his box. I mean, he just took it and then dealt with the pain afterwards. No pain, no gain, and all that.
It's going to be Jan Sommer to take this free kick now. Looking for the front line of Gavranovic, probably going to try and get this one long towards them and knocked on. That's given away, and Rodriguez just smashes it into the Spanish half. And it's a touch on now by the substitute of Mbabu. It's gone behind for a throw, which is taken quickly by Alba. And now it's just knocking it around here. I think it's with Azpilicueta now, which it is indeed. That's Oyarzabal. Back to Azpilicueta once more. You can see very much that Switzerland are settling for this penalty shootout as things stand anyway. Very much Spain on the front foot.
I'm sure Russ will be very happy if this does go to penalties after what I was doing to him last time he was on.
There's Danny Olmo. Luckily I've eaten today. Well, I've not had dinner, but I have had something earlier, so that's
Me too.
Kept me going. As the referee is looking at his watch now. And that is the end of the first period of extra time, is it almost? I think we've got 1 minute of additional time. Thought he was going to blow up there, but he didn't, did Michael Oliver.
Keeping us on our toes tonight, Mike.
Yeah, now it's about Pau Torres. And now going to be whipped in here by Alba, is it? Yes, a good defending by the defender. Elvedi again, and it's gone behind for a throw, and it's now with Alba. I think that is now. No, in fact, it's not Alba. It's actually somebody number 20. It was actually Pedri possibly. But anyway, there's a chance here, and it's straight into the hands of Sommer. I think from Oyarzabal. I think that is. Anyway, it's comfortable for the goalkeeper nonetheless. It was Oyarzabal with the effort. And we are now at half-time in extra time, and we're going to get Russ's thoughts quickly as well. I know it's going to be a quick turnover, but what have you made of the game overall, Russ, in regards to this game between Switzerland and Spain? And, who do you see nicking it now in the final 15 minutes of extra time or penalties if he gets that far?
Well, first of all, good evening to Mike, good evening to Luke, and good evening to all the listeners that we've got out there this evening. I think it's been a good match. I think if I were to go edge towards a winner, I may say Spain because they've got the numerical advantage since that red card. But can't count out Switzerland. You saw what they did against France, took them all the way to penalties and then went on penalties. Can't rule out penalties. And because what Luke was saying the other night when I was doing my commentary, no offence to you, Mike, but I wanted to go to penalties so Luke can have a late one.
I quite like it when it goes the distance, mate. I've not had a penalty shootout yet, so I'll take that.
Yeah, I know you've not had any penalty shootout just yet, Mike, but I know you put, and like I said, it was not against you, man, when I said, I hope it goes to penalties. You just, I want to go back and look for what Luke said to me in my game. But
no, I'll absolutely take it. I think the two sides are getting themselves back ready to come for the second half of extra time now, yeah.
Yeah, and just briefly while we wait for the start of the second half to start, Mike, Belgium and Italy teams are in. We'll run you through those a little bit later with Matt Iles on the commentary, but just to quickly run through them. Belgium have Courtois in goal, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Vermaelen, Witsel, De Bruyne, Tielemans, Lukaku, Meunier, Thorgan Hazard and Doku. For Italy, Donnarumma, Di Lorenzo, Chiellini, Spinazzola, Verratti, Jorginho, Insigne, Chiesa, Immobile, Barella and Bonucci.
And what I will just say there as well is, I don't know if you noticed this, but every single Swiss player, from the bench, from the starting lineup, the management, they were all out there in that huddle there for Switzerland. As for Spain, I think it was just their players that were starting in there with their manager. But in terms of Switzerland, that was everybody. That was a mass of Swiss men there.
It was, Mike, yes. I did notice that. Second half match, Tom, I'll let and back over to you and Luke. But good to show you at half time. Here's the second half with Mike and Luke.
Thank you, Russ. I don't know if you noticed that, Luke, as well, in regards to even the men that weren't involved in the matchday squad there, the likes of Granit Xhaka as well, who were all involved in that huddle there for Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, totally didn't just nip out in that break, but yeah, I think having them together just shows again the togetherness that this squad has.
There's a chance here for Spain just to play it around at the moment into the is that Gonzalez or is it? Let's have a look here now. I think it was, but anyway, it's with Cesar Azpilicueta now.
Just to clarify, Gonzalez is Pedri.
That's right. Yeah. I'll flick between the two. I've been calling them both throughout the game, so
just in case people didn't actually know they're the same person. There isn't 12 on the field for Spain.
No, I've been calling them the same, like Pedri or Gonzalez through the day. So either way, I think it's Pedri Gonzalez, isn't it? So anyway, it's a chance here for Spain now, and good defending by Akanji again. He smashes it forward. And again, you see Switzerland, even the start of this second half of extra time, still got everybody back in their own half.
They want penalties. They really do.
I'll take penalties as well. As much as Russ said to you there that he wants to get you back for the game that obviously went all the way last week, I think it was, on Tuesday, Ukraine-Sweden, sorry. I'll take penalties for this one, Switzerland-Spain all day. As much as it's going to put off Matt's stream, delay that a little bit.
The thing that Russ doesn't realise here is, whereas he was bothered about it going to penalties, I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'd quite like a penalty shootout because, to be honest, I find them really intriguing.
They are quite good. It's Azpilicueta now for Spain. It's good if it's not England anyway. I'll take that. I'll have it tonight. We'll deal with it in the 90 minutes tomorrow. That's fine. But
tomorrow 90 minutes and done. We don't want anything ridiculous tomorrow.
Counter on the, from Switzerland here now, and it's with the right fullback of Mbabu. He's going to win a free kick as well, is he? Or is he going to win a corner? In fact, it's not even either of those. It's a goal kick.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You'd expect, very least, to have a corner out of that, wouldn't you?
I mean, yes, I would.
But I was pretty obvious thinking that was a free kick, to be fair. Here is the midfielder now for Spain, and it's that not Pedri, is it? Who was it? It's knocked on anyway to who's that? Oyarzabal, I think. It's put behind for a throw-in though. Spain are going to take that quickly. Switch the play now. This is with Dani Olmo now, number 19. He's going to get into the box as well. Good defending by.
Well played.
I think that's the right back again. Substitute right back and Mbabu against Pedri now.
Combination between Mbabu and the winger on that side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. It's now with Dani Olmo given away by Mbabu that time, and it's actually gone behind for Spain. Throw in though off of the defender, which is Sal. Come on at earlier on. It's Azpilicueta now, and that is whips on to Moreno to Oyarzabal, and now just back to Azpilicueta again. Coming back all the way back to Laporte, and Torres plays it out though to Alba now. Of course, you're listening to the Commentary Hub in partnership with JB Sports for this first of the Euro 2020 quarterfinals. We will have this game to its conclusion, and Matt Isles will be with you shortly for. There's a chance here, but just as I will say that, it was Moreno there. It's a good block as well by the Swiss back line. They're claiming for a foul there. and it's no foul by the looks of it. What I was saying there though is that Llorente, I think, actually involved. They're claiming handball, were they? But Matt Isles will be with you from around about 7:45 for the game between Belgium and Italy, with an 8 o'clock kickoff there, and of course that's going to be another fantastic game, which I'm sure potentially could go the distance as well. As this one looks like it could well do at the moment. Still Switzerland 1, Spain 1. For those that are joining us late, if you've been working or anything like that, Spain took the lead after 8 minutes with Jordi Alba's effort deflected in off of Zakaria. And then Switzerland equalised through Xherdan Shaqiri. Getting the assist was Freuler as well, the man that has actually since seen red. And we are now in extra time. Got Russ Werner presenting the game format later on as well. So that's the game between Belgium and also the Italians. Here's Dani Olmo now. In fact, it's Jordi Alba now. It's Dani Olmo. Shot a goal. And good hands there. Comfortable for the goalkeeper. And it's a good play there from Spain, wasn't it? Down the left-hand side to Alba, then to Olmo. And his effort, quite a weak effort, really, in regards to not really testing Sommer too much.
Yeah, I think, again, Olmo did well to get into the position, but then the end product was a bit tame. I mean, it looked comfortable for Jan Sommer. I mean, Sommer's been great today, again. Sommer, Akanji, Elvedi. I mean, Ricardo Rodriguez at the back has been fairly decent as well today.
Yeah, I think there's going to be another substitution in a moment as well. I think it's going to be, is it going to be Spain maybe to make this next change? I couldn't quite see, but
I think it is, yeah.
It should be any moment. Now here's Oyarzabal on to Llorente. Is that? Here's Olmo, and it's fired wide of the goal. Dani Olmo is getting into this game now and have a few chances there. Has the Spanish man, Llorente's ball through to him, and Dani Olmo just couldn't direct that on target, as it is Thiago Alcantara coming on for Pau Torres. So a little bit more of an attacking substitution from the Spanish. Of course, Thiago is well known, but they've replaced a defender there with a midfielder. So they're trying to go for this a little bit more.
Well, you know, Spain are going to come out and it's going to test Switzerland's defensive regard in the last 8 minutes, well, 7 minutes-ish now.
Here's a chance for Spain. I think that's, is that Moreno now? He's held off his man very well as well to knock it out to Alba. Whips in. Good head there by the man that's been a rock for the Swiss today, Elvedi. And it's trying to be put through there from the Spanish man there, all the way through to the goalkeeper. It's gone out of play, in fact, so someone can just take a touch, and it was Sergio Busquets involved in that one, I think. As you see the attempts, Spain are very much dominating on terms of the attempts, 23-9, 8-2 on target, with one of those being the goal, and of course the other one being, I think it was the one that was turned behind from the goalkeeper as well, with that kind of weakish effort. So there's just a few chances of Switzerland, but, you know, they're still very much in this game.
And I think...
sorry, I was just going to say that they're still looking for that first win against Spain since 2010, which was the only time that they've ever beaten the Spanish before this game today.
I think what you need to remember with the attempts is that for the majority of the second half plus extra time so far, they've been playing with 10 men, so they're not going to have many attempts on target. It's going to be
That's very true. That's a good point. And Spain are just comfortably playing it around at the moment at the back and just switching it out to Thiago now, Thiago Alcantara. Let's touch that one on. Now Oyarzabal's got it, and it's touched there to Thiago again. There's a chance here for Spain down the left with Alba. Dani Olmo now on the edge, going to get a chance here, Thiago. Is he going to get it back? Is he? No. It's Moreno, I think that was that time. It's now with Aspilicueta. Spain are very much camped in the Switzerland half, and they're still going to play the ball down this left side now, and it's a chance. That's Llorente looking for Moreno, can't control it. And it's fired there by Dani Olmo, and it's gone behind for a corner. And again, it's good defending for Switzerland there. It's gone off with Fabian Schär, but last-ditch defending really in a kind of desperate hope there to kind of keep this game at 1-1.
Yeah, they just keep defending these attacks out and hope they can get through to penalties.
It's Olmo's corner whipped in, and it's towards the head of, I think that was Laporta from the back. Was it? It was actually Sergio Busquets, and he couldn't get his header past Sommer, but it was actually directed at Sommer, who had that covered. Good positioning from the goalkeeper there.
Hard to get the back. There's a header in from there on that angle.
Yeah, it is, but very much still in this game, Switzerland, and it's with them and So now in particular, was one a throw in there. And that's what Switzerland can still do on the counter-attack. They've still got options in their side. And, of course, you see some Swiss fans there who are just putting their head into their flag there. They can't watch at the moment. Gone behind for a Switzerland throw. Very nervous Switzerland fans there, as you just mentioned, Luke. Yeah. Now it's the number 2, Mbabu. Of course, Gavranovic is still in the box as well. That's thrown toward him, but well defended by Spain. Here's Thiago now, and it's given away. Switzerland still battling hard.
This sort of play from Switzerland when they have it in Spain's half will suit them perfectly for penalties, because it just ticks the clock down further towards penalties.
And now it's with, I think that's Aspilicueta. He's playing at centre back now, so they kind of changed it a little bit, the formation. I think they might have Thiago playing more sort of on the right. Here he is in possession now as well, trying to find the ball through to Olmo, and well defended by the defence of Switzerland again. But here's a chance now for, is that Oyazaka? No, it was actually Moreno, I think. Oyazabal, sorry, but it was Moreno that time. And again, it was, if you look just a moment before that, Elvedi, that was the man that intercepted originally before that effort was just directed on target there. And it's probably about time, Luke. We've got 2 minutes of extra time. I know it looks like potentially penalties, but for you to start thinking about your man of the match for this game, you can give me that either the end of this game if we do get a late winner, or in the pre bit of a break when they decide who's taking the penalties. But get your thinking caps on nonetheless. And here's Thiago Alcantara now. Good defended by Elvedi. He's certainly going to be in the reckoning, I know for a fact. And it's Rodriguez now. Rodriguez smashes it clear. I'll play for a Spain throw. As you just see some more Swiss fans there trying to G their side up. Coming up to the end of this extra period. I think Spain are getting another man ready as well. Is that Rodri maybe coming on, I think, now?
They're just throwing everybody on now with you to possibly taking a penalty.
Rodri on for Pedri now.
I bet Pedri is absolutely shattered after this, so putting Rodri on probably benefits them a hell of a lot more. Yeah, again, though, there is only probably about 2 minutes plus additional time till penalties, so maybe that's the viewpoint. Maybe you can take a better penalty.
Possibly. Dani Olmo there giving the ball away, and that's a foul, is it, on the number 22 for Switzerland, which is Fabian Schär, of course, of Newcastle.
Again, suits their play perfectly fine because it takes more seconds out of the game.
Yeah, they very much want this to go all the way, don't they? You can see that in the way that they've sort of set up to the extra period. Yeah, here's Thiago Alcantara now. He's going to be seen back by Akanji. Is it to the goalkeeper somewhere? Yes, it is. He's going to come across to the far end of his box and smash it upfield. And looking for Gavranovic, but given away, and it's now Llorente. 15 seconds away from finding out how much additional time we will have at the end of extra time. I have to get my voice back if we do have a shootout, which it looks like it will be. Here's Jordi Alba, knocks it on to, I guess, with the midfield. Now here's Thiago Alcantara, and the referee Michael Oliver hasn't got instruction yet in regards to how much stoppage time there will be. It's whips in though, good defending there again, and smash clear. It's now with Unai Simon. We've got 1 minute of additional time, which we are 20 seconds into already of that. And the Swiss now got a chance to counter. Gavranovic, well, played there by Sergio Busquets, and wins a free kick as well against Gavranovic. And a yellow card as well. The referee's going to put out a yellow for Gavranovic there.
I don't reckon that was a yellow card. Wow.
No, I didn't think so either. But here's Thiago Alcantara now onto Alba. He's going to whip it in. It's now with Llorente. It's a header there from Laporte, and that's probably going to see it all the way through to penalties, I think, Luke. And what do you make of that?
Well, I think Switzerland have done what they needed to do in extra time, as it's now been confirmed that it is penalties. So yeah, they've definitely done what I said they were going to do, see it out to penalties. Now they went down to 10 men. So yeah, I reckon that was a decent two halves, and then yeah.
It was just a confirmation that it was actually Rodri who headed over at the end as well. So thank you for just confirming that with me. I wasn't sure who it was in the end, but I was kind of getting more ready for the shootout because I was kind of expecting it now. But man of the match, Luke, is it safe to say you're going to be giving it to Akanji or not Akanji, sorry, Elvedi, or is Akanji in the mix, or some of the other Swiss players as well, or also a Spanish head?
I mean, for me, it has to be Elvedi. I mean, I have just been totally impressed with him tonight. I mean, there was Akanji, Sommer, maybe Dani Olmo for a bit of it. Busquets in the middle, but I just think Elvedi definitely deserves it. Okay,
so I'm just going to update that now. So that's Nico Elvedi, is it, who gets the man of the match. Currently playing in Germany at Mönchengladbach.
Mike, I've updated it on the tick for you, mate. I've just put it up on the tick, going across the bottom so people can see who's got man of the match voted by Luke. So, and just a quick question to both of you, because me and my dad were watching majority of this game up in my auntie's where I've been before I came on for just last few minutes between extra time and then now between penalties.
Yeah,
we didn't think it was a red card for the Swiss player because
Freuler, yeah,
because he won the ball and majority of times we thought the referee Michael Oliver went into Premier League mode, and that's why he sent him off, and that's why Peter Walton agreed with the decision and VAR agreed they went into Premier League mode, because English referees have seen these tackles before in the competition and not given a red card. Did you think it was a red card at the time, Mike?
When I looked on it, I thought originally he won the ball, and then if you look at the sort of follow through, you can see why he's given the red for reckless play or dangerous play. But it's quite when you look at it, one of those ones where it could go either way really, because obviously he won the ball first of all for me, but then if you look at the follow through, it is reckless play. So I can sort of see why it's been given.
What about you, Luke?
I just think that tackling in games has just gone mad. I mean, if you're sending people off for that, then I don't know. I don't agree with it. It's a red card, but in the rules of what's probably been implemented, I can see why it's a red card. I just don't like it.
It's getting ready for the penalties now as the referee there just doing the coin toss with Sergio Busquets and Jan Sommer, the respective captains for the day. So we will find out who's going to be up first and where they're going to be taking the penalties as well in a moment. And of course, Switzerland have possibly a little bit of an advantage, having played the last game where it went to penalties as well. Luke, do you see that coming into it at all or not?
Well, they have an advantage in that sense, Mike. But they have a disadvantage of one less penalty taker.
That's true, yeah. That's a good point.
But at the
with
same
the
time,
red card, Luke, Spain will have one less penalty taker as well because they've got to even it out when they do the penalties.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Spain up first, and it's going to be, just talking to the goalkeepers now, just to say, make sure you're on your line at all times, and we will look at things with VAR if we need to. If you come off your line, then penalties will have to be retaken. That's what's been said to the two goalkeepers right now.
Wonderful VAR.
Jan Sommer just getting himself ready to go and face the first penalty. And it's going to be, who's this now for Spain? Is that let's have a look. Is that Busquets up first, maybe?
Number 5.
Yeah, Sergio Busquets, yeah. Let's see what Sergio Busquets can do with the first penalty of the shootout. Up against Jan Sommer. Sergio Busquets. Calmly just rolled that one there, but it's hit the post. So it's missed the first penalty there. I thought it was too calm, actually. I was just going to say he calmly rolled that one the wrong side of Jan Sommer, but he actually got it all wrong and it hit the post. So Spain have missed the first kick of the shootout.
That's a poor penalty. I mean, have to get it on target from there.
Absolutely. So it's a miss already for Spain. And it's going to be, who's this for Switzerland now? So is it Gavranovic? Yeah, it is, yeah. Gavranovic is up next to put Switzerland 1-0 up, which he does comfortably, and a great penalty as well, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Switzerland have the lead in the shootout now by 1 penalty to 0, or 1-0.
That's how you take a penalty.
Absolutely, there's a great penalty there from Gavranovic. And up next for Spain is Dani Olmo, I believe. Got an opportunity here now to put the game at 1-1. Dani Olmo against Jan Sommer. And cool as you like, just smashes that top bins. Great penalty.
That's even better than Gavranovic's.
That's how you certainly take a penalty there. That's not any trouble from Dani Olmo at all. Great penalty kick, that one.
Then again, if Switzerland manage to score the next 4, they go through.
It's Fabien Schär of Newcastle. We did actually take one in the game against France as well, which he put away, didn't he, I believe? Fabien Schär just been spoken to by Michael Oliver now. He puts the ball on the spot. It's the Newcastle man up against Unai Simon of Atletico Bilbao, of course, in his club days. And it's saved by Unai Simon there. Another poor penalty as well.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
We're level at 1-1 after 2 penalties each. 1 scored, 1 missed each.
I mean, it's just the placement's all wrong. It's just a goalkeeper reach.
It's going to be, who's this now for Spain? I think it's going to be, who's that there? Can't even see what it is. Rodri up against Sommer, and it's saved again. Jan Sommer has saved this one now, and Switzerland have another bit of hope going forward into the competition semi-final again. It's a poor penalty again, actually. The good fight for the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer.
That's in an even worse position than Schär's.
Some of these penalties have been, last penalty shootout, Switzerland and France For Switzerland, of course, I should say, there were some exceptional penalties. Today, there's been some very poor ones so far.
Apart from Gavranovic's and Olmo's.
Yes, and it's now Akanji was up there for candidate for man of the match. Didn't quite get it though. Let's see what he can do from the spot now against Unai Simon. For a place in the semi-finals, of course, as well, for the winners of this game. Akanji steps up. And again, just another poor penalty is saved this time from Unai Simon. Another one where he just rolled it and he took a weird sort of jump thing in the air there. And Unai Simon just comfortably saves that one. So now it's Moreno, but we've only had one penalty scored from either side so far.
Do either side not practice penalties in the week? Because this is shocking.
It doesn't look like it at the moment. Here's Moreno. I'd hope that he'd score, but we'll have to wait and see. Gerard Moreno. He certainly does score as well. What a penalty that is.
The two that Spain have scored have been absolute thunderbolts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a wonderful penalty there. Jan Sommer, absolutely no chance. As we are now looking at the fourth penalty for Switzerland, which is going to be taken by... What number is this now?
The sub that came on from Bolo.
The number 11, Vargas, is up now. What can Vargas do? He's got to score, remember, to have a chance, really. And it's a poor penalty there over the top. And Switzerland, they're really falling apart now. I don't know what they were playing for penalties for in extra time, because apart from the one penalty that they scored, the rest have all been absolutely terrible, is the polite way to put it.
Oh, that was an abysmal penalty. I mean, at least get it under the bar.
And it's Oyarzabal now. If he scores, Spain go through to the semi-final to face the winners of Belgium and Italy, which Matt Iles will bring you in about 4 or 5 minutes' time. So it's Oyarzabal up against Jan Sommer. Of course, Spain won against Croatia last time out. Switzerland had a penalty shootout where they knocked out France. But in this one, is it going to be one step too far for Switzerland? Will Spain be progressing? Oyarzabal is up against Jan Sommer now. Deciding penalty potentially. Oyarzabal. He scored the 5th goal against Croatia. And he sent them through to the semi-finals as well. He sent the goalkeeper the wrong way there. The man that sealed the extra time victory over Croatia is the man that has sent them through to the Euro 2020 semi-finals to face the winners of Belgium and Italy. Got to say, you feel sorry for Switzerland there. But in regards to Spain, they are through to a semi-final. Everyone was looking at Spain thinking, were they finished? Would they be able to, compete with some of the likes of Italy and Belgium and France and whoever else? But Spain are through to a semi-final. They're going to face the winners of Belgium and Italy. Luke, what did you make of that shootout? It was some terrible penalties in there, weren't there?
I mean, you say you have to feel sorry for Switzerland. And to a degree, yes, because they did so much in the 120 minutes to get it to penalties. But when it got to penalties, their penalties were shocking. I mean, surely you just put your foot through them and just get over the ball. At least get it directed somewhere on target. I mean, if you're going to go out in a penalty shootout, at least it be for the goalkeeper making tremendous saves, not taking poor penalties like that. I mean, it's like they got to penalties and then just didn't have an answer. I mean, they did it without Embolo, Shaqiri, Seferovic, Freuler.
Granit Xhaka, of course, as well, was suspended today, yeah.
maybe they were the 5 usual penalty takers, and maybe that's why the other ones were so bad. But at the same time, at least practice them before each of the games.
And of course, a word on Spain, semi-finals for Spain. A lot of people didn't have them to get that far. I know I didn't, but they've done very well to get there. And they do face off against the winners of the next game, Belgium, Italy as well. And cracking game that should be for Spain, whoever they get.
Yeah, I think Spain are growing in this tournament. I mean, Luis Enrique made some bold decisions with his squad, leaving out the Real Madrid lads and just selecting the other players. And obviously, those players he's now got are slowly gelling together. I think, apart from that mix-up between Laporte and Torres at the back, they've looked solid. Obviously, they've got Garcia there as well. I think Azpilicueta gives them experience at fullback. Elba on the other side looked decent today. I think Busquets coming back into the midfield has improved them dramatically. I think then Koke and Pedri either side. And then obviously Morata, Moreno up front. I'd like to see a bit more from both of them in the remainder of this tournament because, I mean, Moreno got into decent positions, but then just didn't have the end product. Morata scored 1 goal in the extra time. So, again, I think, in all fairness, the strikers haven't really done it, but the players wider than the strikers have been more effective.
And of course, we said how poor some of those penalties were. Of course, Oyarzabal scored the winner for Spain from the spot. But if you look at some of these penalties, I think the 2 goalkeepers, you have to have a word on the 2 goalkeepers, played a part as well, doing their part and making a few saves. Unai Simon, I think, saved 1 more in the shootout, which is, one of the factors in why the side went on and won it.
Unai Simon, I think I've learnt a lot about in this tournament. He's a bit of a confidence player. If he does something erratic and it goes wrong, his head drops a little bit for a few minutes and he looks a bit shaky. But then I think as this game's gone on, this tournament's gone on, he's grew really into some form of confidence. And I mean, he's living up to kind of replacing the likes of Iker Casillas. So you can see why the pressure's on him now to be the number 1 for Spain. But I think he's proved that he can do it now in a penalty shootout. I think Jan Sommer as well has been a tremendous keeper this tournament, and I'm kind of gutted we're not going to see him in the next round, but that's football.
A fair play to Switzerland as well. Of course, this is the furthest they've got in a Euros competition, and you kind of have to say they were playing for penalties. You gave man of the match to Elvedi, and I couldn't have gone too far either side of him or Akanji, even myself. 2 very, very good performances from the 2 Swiss centre-backs today.
In the 120 minutes they played, Switzerland were brilliant. They did everything right to get it to penalties. And I think their only downfall is the penalty taking. But arguably, for up until probably tonight, that was Spain's downfall in matches. They couldn't take penalties either.
That's a fair point. Yeah, there's a few that have missed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They missed 5 on the bounce that they were given in normal time. So, Again, it could have gone either way. It's gone to Spain. So, yeah, I mean, sets up another cracking tie in the semi-final with Spain against either Italy or Belgium. So,
and what was interesting, just what I will say there in regards to Switzerland as well, Rodriguez didn't take a penalty in the shootout.
Yeah, didn't take a penalty in the shootout, and the other penalties weren't much better. So maybe then, again, I've alluded to the fact that the 5 penalty takers, well, 6th if you include Rodriguez, would probably usually be Shaqiri and Bolo, Freuler, Xhaka, and Seferovic.
And that's a beautiful touch there from Spain as well. Just applauding the Swiss players off the pitch there as they make their way down the tunnel. That's that's a wonderful touch, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, you have to applaud Switzerland's effort in this tournament to even get this far. But again, I just think, will they look back on those penalties and be just a bit critical on the kind of way they took them?
All right. Well, thank you for joining me this evening, Luke. And we're going to wrap it up there on a day where Spain are the first side to progress through to the semi-finals after a 1-1 draw against Switzerland, with them becoming victorious 3-1 on penalties. And, fair play to Switzerland for getting this far. But Spain progressed to face the winners of Belgium and Italy in the semi-final, which we're going to bring you now with Matt Isles on that one. So do stick around for that coverage here on the Commentary Hub and JB Sports. But from myself, from Luke, from Russ as well, Spain progress. And let's see what happens now. Belgium and Italy, who will they be facing? Over to you, Matt and Russ. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.